Hello everybody. It looks like we are live. So, welcome everybody. This is James Malins live here on Sunday. And I just want to say, if you are watching the replay, I appreciate you very, very much. We are going to be doing global peace meditations today. And even if you are watching after we've been live, the effect still stands the same. So, welcome everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you again for our 9th Sunday. Isn't that amazing? That is absolutely amazing, guys. Our 9th Sunday. It's been a beautiful day here on summer solstice. So it is summer solstice on Sunday 21st of June. I'm trying not to tongue tie myself this week. So yeah, if you're watching the replay, please feel free to sit back and relax. We normally get ourselves set up. We say our hellos. We post out some notifications for other people to come and join us. And so yeah, we're going to be together for 3 hours and 33 minutes today, which is obviously a lovely ode to David. So we're going to be going through some very interesting stuff. We're going to be talking about sovereignty, the natural person. We're going to be talking about our progress with the Great Global Garden, which is something that I'm very, very excited to share with you. It's been a really empowering week. We've really gone for it. I have only just finished what I hope is a full session of slides today. So it's been a very full week, but a very productive week. So really excited for you to be a part of us. So welcome, guys. How are you all doing? Today we are talking about sovereignty and the natural person part 2. Now, you never know, we might actually end up going for a part 3 this week, but we will certainly find out about that. So let's come over here and say hello to everybody. So Lucas, Annie, Karen, thank you so much for coming back. Very kind of you. And again, thank you again for your hospitality in your group to share that we're doing these lives. Very, very kind of you, of course. Asana, happy Father's Day to Poppy Malins, absolutely. And Hap Chappy, lovely name by the way, absolutely love that. Hi all, so happy to be a part of this community, first time writing here. Well, that's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and saying hello. It's lovely to have you here. You are in perfect hands. We have an absolutely lovely group of people here. So Rick, Sally, Anika, hello fam, so happy to be here with you all. It's an absolute pleasure for you to be here with us as well. So as always, guys, thank you so much for your patience with any replies to all of you. I know I've been a little bit, I'm a bit behind with replying to everybody, so I appreciate your patience very much. This week was a very hard working week. I haven't stopped since Sunday really, other than a few bits and pieces, but like I say, we made incredible progress. So Mummy Malins and Zorin coming in straight away with a $20 donation. That's very kind of you, Zorin. You're extremely generous and you're helping me out tremendously. That's really wonderful for you to do that. What a lovely way to start our second stream, because I know you're very generous again last stream as well. That's very kind of you. You can have as many parts as you need. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. So thank you so much for that donation, Zorin. Super generous and really, really deeply welcomed right now. It really is. I can't tell you how much. Thank you so much. So Deborah, welcome. Deborah, you messaged me. You messaged on the last live, and I've been trying to find you ever since this week. It's 2 weeks in a row. I'm so sorry if you've messaged and I haven't seen your response. I've been really wanting to connect with you, so sorry if I haven't got to you. Joie de vie, Blah, welcome, Bevy. Let's have a look here. Everyone who is tuning in with us. Bradine, I know you're here. Gail, Yelena, thank you so much, Yelena. I know you guys have been with us pretty much from the very beginning. I know Yelena definitely from the very beginning, so it's very kind of you. Anne Dahl, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Leilu, I hope you feel better, Leilu. Leilu's feeling a little bit under the weather. So I hope you feel better and you heal and feel back up to full strength very, very soon. And I think that's everybody. If I've missed anybody, I deeply apologise. Tom, I know you said hello in the beginning. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine, and if you come back, then I hope you're having a lovely day. So if you are in the live and you haven't said hello yet, please feel free to let us know where you're from. Come and say hello. I am just about to post the notifications out there, so that if people want to come and join us and they've forgotten about it, which often happens, so I'm just going to pop a little few notifications out there so everybody just sit back and relax. We'll be getting into the live today very, very soon. So we're going to share that one over. We're going to come over to our community tab and we're going to share these out with everybody. So we'll post that there. Make sure it posts this time because I made that mistake last time. We're going to post there. There we go. Next post. Telegram post. Almost there. Whoopsie, that one was supposed to. Let's just pop that in there. We can just stick the image in, I think. That should be good enough. 2 seconds, guys. Thank you for your patience. Post, there we go. Right. That's it then. So now we can sit back, relax, have a good old chat with each other and go through what we're going through today. So, Paul, welcome. Stopping in to say hello, brother. Happy Father's Day to all the dads on here. Thank you so much, Paul. And I hope you have a lovely day. Whatever you're doing, I'll drop you a message as soon as I can, my friend. Happy Father's Day to you as well, brother. Very much so. And Linla, hello from Pennsylvania, USA. Thank you so much for coming back and being with us and being a part of what we're doing. Absolutely lovely. Anika says, confirming I just got the Telegram notification, so they went through. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm pleased to hear that. It's really good to confirm that, because sometimes I don't know. David, hello and welcome. Paul, brother. Oh, that's extremely kind of you, my friend. Paul has been my friend for a very, very long time. He's supported me for a very, very long time before. He's been a real dear brother to me on this entire journey. We've had many phone conversations over a long period of time. We've still never met in person, but I consider him a very dear brother of mine. Paul, that's super generous of you, my friend. Love you very much, mate. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. What a wonderful start. You know, we haven't even got into it yet and you guys are already coming in with the extremely generous donations. I can't tell you how much it helps. You know, for whatever reason, you know, I all my life I have lived in the truth that I will always be supported no matter what, and I still live that truth. Past couple of years have been extremely quiet for me. You know, universe clearly has that plan. You know, there's clearly a plan. There's something going on, which I think we're very close to. You know, when I share with you what we've been going through today, you know, so it's just been the scraping the bottom of the barrel month after month. Apart from my mother has clearly, obviously supported me on my mother and father. Annie, Lucas, they've supported me impeccably. So Paul, Zorin, extremely kind of you. Love you guys very, very much, and all of you as well. For you guys coming and spending your energy, your time, your presence with me, that's also an exchange, you know, of which I am very, very grateful. So honestly, bro, you're helping me out. Fuel, insurance, everything there. You know, you're easing my stresses, my friend, as well as you too, Zorin. So thank you guys. Very, very, very kind of you. Free Queen, good evening from the Netherlands. Thank you so much for being here. Very kind of you. So, right guys, well, we'll do our usual introduction. So we'll get through and we'll go through what we're going to be talking about this evening. So, again, we're going to be talking about, again, sovereignty and the natural person. And I have some very interesting stuff to share with you. In particular, the sovereign citizen movement. Now, years ago, I was interested in exploring sovereignty and being a free man and woman in this world. And ever since then, I've gone back to it. And I cannot tell you how much it is being persecuted at the minute. So I'm not saying that everything that the sovereign citizen thing is accurate and working and all good, but my goodness, there isn't a single positive thing out there in the world at all. Not even an acknowledgement that they're kind of pursuing the sovereignty and the freedom of the self, you know, which I think is a very worthwhile pursuit. But honestly, it is such a direct attack on the idea of individual sovereignty and being a free man and woman. It is incredible. So I can't wait to go through that with you today. I do have some interesting information with you. I can't show you on the actual stream, but many years ago I went into to explore an affidavit of truth. I went in to explore my declaring my sovereignty back to the state. There are quite a few pages in here, as you'll be able to see there. These were all sent off, and so we're going to go through some of it with my information taken out. But yeah, very interesting. I feel like it is a part of the Great Global Garden because it is about understanding our freedom, our sovereignty, how we get back to that very real, very practical, very logical, very obvious paradise. You know, people talk about utopia and utopian thinking, and I'm like, is the world the way we want it to be? You know, I got no problem talking, you know, in terms of utopian ideologies, because this one right here, the one we're talking about, restoring all families back onto the land, it was happening 1,000 years ago. People were on the land. They were gardening. You know, they were farming, although we have to go back to gardening. So it's exciting stuff, guys. And I see there DC Vandenberg. Welcome. Hello. I'll try to stay as long as possible. That's absolutely no pressure at all. It's a pleasure to have you here and have you present. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for coming to tune in and be with us. Anika says, of course, sovereignty is persecuted. The powers that be can't have that take place, can they now? No, they can't. They can't stop it, that's for sure. But they definitely, I mean, I've seen even British media putting out articles on it, so they are going to town trying to make people who are talking about sovereignty look like idiots. Now, you know, I'm not here to say that some of it isn't being used for ways of getting out of very poor behaviour. You know, I think there is a let me come out full screen just for 2 seconds. There is a way of carrying ourselves. There is a way of being. There is a right and wrong. You know, that there is a what's the word I'm looking for? There is a good and decent moral set of principles and values and behaviours which make for a sovereign individual. You know, I really do think it's directly connected. And of course, we will be going into a little bit of, very, very briefly, what we talked about with the Garden of Eden and that philosophy of the angel or the guardian at the gates, not letting people in. So anyway, interesting. It's just purely interesting. I'm not trying to, you know, we're all very much on the level. Anybody new, stick around. You know, it isn't, we keep it grounded here as well. I promise you that. Vanderberg says, hello, all you lovelies. And to be honest, together we form this community, and whenever we all are ready, we could call it a family. I agree with you completely. As far as I'm concerned, you are family, as you are in here as well. And she says, yes, I'm Dutch. Beautiful. Well, very kind of you to be here. And Blas says, exactamundo. Sounds like my dad. They are just trying to prolong the inevitable. Yes, they are. Yeah, without a doubt, you know. And it is inevitable, and I love you using that word because it is inevitable. The path that we are going down, the journey of humanity, you know, David talked about the hero and the heroine's journey. The journey of humanity is back to where we're going. Or else why, you know, how can I say that for a fact? The only way I can say that for a fact is because I'm here. You know, that's for no other reason other than when I look through my eyes, when I close my eyes, when I'm present, when I'm quiet, and I ask myself the questions of why I'm here. This is the only reason why I'm here. There is no other reason. There is no other purpose to my life, apart from experience, other than to help bring forward this beautiful awakening, this beautiful gathering, this beautiful coming together. So again, lovely for you guys to be here. Let's get into it, shall we? So full monitor. As always, David, brother, here or there, this world or the other world, thank you for being here, wherever you are. We love you dearly. Very much appreciate you and who you are and everything you presented to us. Elephant 444, beautiful. My mother will love your name. Thank you so much for tuning in. Very kind of you for being here. Love the name. Yeah, thanks for coming to join us. Vanderberg says, well, then here we have a very real digital hug, and yes, we can say we are starting to return to the roots of why we are where we are. Fully agree with you, James. Appreciate that very much, and I agree with you absolutely. And we're going to be getting into that today, ironically. So we're going to be going into that ourselves. Kimmy, welcome from Staffordshire. Welcome back, Kimmy Tree Dog, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Very kind of you to come and join us. We are just getting started, so like I say, nobody worry. We're just getting into it. So Wonderful. Happy summer solstice. And isn't that interesting? We have Happy Father's Day and Happy Summer Solstice both on the same day. Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, if you're celebrating the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, then I'm celebrating it with you. It's absolutely lovely. So we're spending that time together. So, wow, look at this look. We've had to separate the two sides over here. So we've had 8 live streams. These are all of the live streams that we've done since the beginning. Honouring David, Whirling Rainbow, Global Garden of Peace, The Unification of Humanity, Pathway to Peace, Sovereignty in the Natural Person, Part 1 and now Part 2. So we're on our 9th live stream, guys. This is really amazing and also, you know, sort of solemn when we think about why we're here. You know, the 9th live stream, that's 9 Sundays, that's 9 weeks since the last live that David did. So, you know, sad, it is sad, it's unfortunate, but, you know, we're keeping that flame alive, we're keeping that energy going. So, Hap Chappy, I'm with you. I send you my love. You know, we're doing a good thing, though. We always have done, and we will continue to. Breathe Light, happy solstice, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Suzanne, hi there Suzanne, hi everyone, James Free Queen, Supulena Asana, lovely, it's an absolute pleasure for you to be here Suzanne, thank you for tuning in. So last week's live stream we talked about the I am, or we were getting into the I am, but we were talking about the natural person, what we are, the makeup of our being. So, you know, this idea of, David talked a lot about light and fractalization, or fractals, so we explored the idea of the sun, the ancient, you know, the religious connotations, the quantum science connotations, the scientific connotations that are currently coming out. So we've got light, the fractals, we have our body and our mind. So we are a soul or a consciousness or an energy inhabiting a physical solid body. And so we explored the origin of that, of our true self, you know, that wholeness, that oneness, that unity. So we will be touching on this again if you don't remember it from last week. Schedule for this live, which is our 9th live stream. It is going to be all about the natural person and sovereignty. Tonight we will be doing 5 meditations, roughly every 42 minutes for 3 hours and 33 minutes. In tonight's live stream, I want to share some very powerful news about our 7 pages. Now, you guys, I don't know if I've fully described it as the 7 pages, so I'm excited to go through that with you. Very, very powerful progress. Very, very powerful. Then we will dive into what it means to be a natural man or woman and how that links to our sovereignty. Finally, we will look at the planet and how this idea of the Great Global Garden works in tandem with being sovereign, natural, free individuals. Now, there is a very interesting concept, the idea that our governments and our sort of rulers and leaders are classing us as incompetent individuals. And that's how they kind of get away with their ability to treat us the way that we are being treated, you know, so this kind of idea that we're having to be handheld, whereas the truth is if we were given that ability, we were given the resources from birth to be sovereign and free, we'd be looking after ourselves no problem. So again, makes for a very, very interesting conversation. Would you guys let me know, how's the audio? Is it sounding good? I'll also do a little check on my end. I know we had a couple of moments last week. I've tried, it seems to me that in my system it kind of keeps putting it down and I keep having to put it up, but you know, let me know if the audio is all right. I'll just have a quick idea that our government, cool, sounds good to me. So it seems like it's good. You guys let me know. Mum says all good. Ellie says all good. Rick, all good. Hap Chappy, sounding good. Amazing, guys. Appreciate you very much. Yelena, perfect, guys. Thank you for letting me know. Very kind of you. So, our meditation schedule. So we've been doing 5 meditations each week. We were doing 7. We found that kind of broke things up probably a little bit too much. Sounds like jail. What's that, Bradine? I think I might have missed something. I've waffled on, Bradine, and I can't. I don't know what you're referring to. I hope it doesn't sound like jail. I hope it sounds like absolute beautiful freedom. So, Free Queen says, I'm so excited about the topic of natural person since I saw this short of a man speak. Yeah, I know exactly the short you're talking about. So, since I saw the short of a man speaking up and the judge left the room, he was so eloquent and he knew his rights. I'll see if I can find it again. Well, I tell you what, Free Queen, we will get it up today. So we will get it up to watch it today. That's another reason why I wanted to go back into this, because I saw the same video you did. I have gone through a lot of the old stuff, but I've been so busy this week. I have truly struggled to get the slides ready for today. That's not a complaint. I wanted to dive into this. This might be a part 3, and I certainly hope that I can that I can get it done this week. But like I say, we've made incredible progress, so I don't feel bad. So our first meditation is going to be with David, as usual. We will be going to his live video, The Principle of Namaste, or Namaste. And his global peace meditation is at 2 hours, 58 minutes and 12 seconds. Our second meditation will be on the I Am Presence Within. Third meditation, again with your permission, will be the I Am With You prayer, the little prayer that I wrote a few months back. Meditation 4 will be a global peace meditation for happy and healthy relationships. And number 5, we will finish with David just before we end up... Excuse me. Bradine says, what you had said previously about them thinking we needed to be handheld. Yeah, okay, I get you, yeah. It does sound... Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely does, you're right. Free Queen says, man, him knowing the natural law and how he worded it, such a great... Okay. Well, I can't say that for myself. But yeah, it was up there. It was up there in the satisfaction levels for sure. Pun intended on a verbal and sovereign level, absolutely. Be more Jambo. Hey there. I'm new here so much, so I had to look up natural sovereignty and read the idea inalienable rights and ruling power belong inherently to the people. The government call us the people, aliens within law. Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming to join us. It's a pleasure to have you here. Really, really is. We're going to be diving into that today, so very excited to go through that with you. It's curious, Jambo, because as I said just a moment ago, there's a real persecution on this idea of the sovereign citizen movement, and I really do feel like they're attacking this and they're fabricating this for a reason to put people off. But it's a conversation we have to have. We have to talk about being sovereign, being absolutely, completely and utterly capable to look after ourselves. So yeah, Jambo, pleasure to have you here. Thank you for coming to join us. Namaste is a very deep, rich practice. It's said the people have bastardized its meaning by misusing it and overusing it, no doubt. Well, that I have no doubt, Asana. It would be interesting. I haven't watched that live of David, so it would be interesting to go through it. Prince Royal, you'll be happy to know that I saw your comment in the live we're going to watch. Quite a few of your comments. So yeah, it was a pleasure to... I saw you there and it made me laugh. So it didn't make me laugh, sorry, it made me smile. Sorry, I don't know why. It didn't make me laugh, it made me smile. Prince says, my brain isn't braining today. Yeah, I might be there with you. This room's going to get hot, so you're going to have to bear with me, guys. So, amazing. Cool, right. And then, of course, after each meditation, just sort of keep it in your mind, keep it in your heart, that we'll share one thing, hopefully, that we're grateful for, and one thing that potentially came to us throughout the meditation. So, yeah, so I've had a few more 333 synchronicities. Tom, wonderful time to be alive and witness procession of epochs. Absolutely, Tom. I hope you had a lovely time at the lake or wherever you went. Thank you so much for coming to join us. So, yeah. So a few more 333 synchronicities. I thought you might find this interesting. So I was doing research on the calorific quantity needed for a 2.5 acre domain for a family of 5. So we were exploring this with what you get from the forest garden, what you get from horticulture or vegetable growing. And it was just hilarious that it came up with 333. So when I found an image which sort of was trying to explain what a person needed year by year, vegetable-wise, and so when I put it in, this is what it said, that apparently the amount on average that it came up with was 333 calories. So we need a little bit more than that. The forest garden can produce a tremendous amount of calories because a family of 5 needs roughly 4 million calories a year. So when we start to translate that into weight, or yield, which is, you know, your fruits, vegetables, nuts, roots, shoots, leaves. We have to know these figures as far as I'm concerned, because it gives people a lot more confidence that we can be self-sufficient, completely and utterly beautifully self-sufficient on a 2.5 acre domain. Okay, so everybody here in this live right now, you and your family are owed 2.5 acres of land to be able to live sovereign and free. That is how I feel as far as I am concerned. Okay, and that's how a lot of us feel as well. Deborah says, oh yeah, absolutely. Love you, Mum. So, Mum, Deborah, yeah, absolutely, guys. If you're willing, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. The like button helps it get out there. You know how every YouTuber says it. We got to do it. You know, we got to do it. It helps out. So, yeah, if you're willing to do that, that's very, very kind and gracious of you. So, yeah, we've had some new people join from that, I think. I have also been posting in groups, so people have been finding us from there. So, again, yeah, pleasure. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate that very much. Another few synchronicities. I was watching a workout video because I wanted to know, I wanted to have some new moves in the gym for my shoulders and my chest and my back, etc. And I just found it hilarious that he posted it at 3 hours and 33 minutes. So right over there in the corner, he posted it at 333 and he was lifting 300 pounds. Good for him. That's a lot of weight. So, and then I remember this one actually wasn't from this week, but I never shared this with you guys. So when I was uploading a video, I just so happened to be contemplating something, and it was 33% at 33 minutes left, which, you know, call it all of these crazy coincidences, but I just think they're really, really crazy. Oh, wow. From the Glade, number 8. That's a really appropriate name for everything we're about, From the Glade. Hi, James. Just tuning in now, ready to learn. Thank you so much, mate. Absolute pleasure. Thank you, my friend. You know, your name is absolutely chef's kiss. It's exactly what we're talking about. 2.5 acre forest garden domains. You know, allowing people to live sovereign and free, restoring every square inch of our planet, our soils, ecosystems, quality of food, and a future for our children. You are, I feel like you're in the right place, because we're certainly grateful to have you here with a name like that. So yeah, we're very, very powerful. You know, we are talking the Great Global Garden. You know, if you like, it's referred biblically. You know, we're talking about a very, very interesting concept. You know, this idea that the movement that we are all a part of right now in this conversation, you know, those 6 million views that we have had over the past 90 days in direct correlation with observing the nature of our current, or the state, sorry, of our current modern society and where we're going. We've opened, David opened a door. We opened a door. I was preparing 3 weeks before the news of David, and then all of a sudden, everything started coming together. So, absolutely. Deborah says the new Garden of Eden for the future, without a doubt. You know, and for some people that find that a little bit hard to believe, you know, forest gardens have been working for years. That I have a document which I actually might show you in just a moment. I have a document, a British study. It was done by the Ministry of Forestry, the Ministry of Forestry, Ministry of Agriculture. I haven't read it yet. It's over 200 pages, something like that. It was talking about forest gardens in 1930 something. You know, so they've known about it for a long time. Yeah, they've known about it for a long time. People have known about it for a long time, and it's the path we're going on. So, Blas says, from the Glades, so long as not from Glades, Florida, with their MAGA-ites. Welcome. Just kidding. Well, that's interesting, because if Glade doesn't mean glade of a forest, that's really curious, my friend. You'll have to let me know. Very cool. Tom says, thanks, y'all, and James, for your much-needed work for humanity. Our children's children will be sovereign and free in forest gardens. Thank you for Kickstart. Absolutely. You know, Lucas, Annie, our friend Michael, we are all we've been on this for a long time. You know, Lucas and I have been on this path for 6 or so years. Michael the same. So we've been my glade means Anastasia's glade. I love that. There you go. Absolutely perfect. You're right. In fact, okay then, should we just quickly do this? I love talking with you guys, by the way. I have to. So can you see that from the glade? Wait, right there. You'll probably notice the green nature of those books, because they are the Anastasia books right there. So just above my wooden books, Trivium, Geomancy, Scientia, Megalith, Quadrivium, and Designia. And then above is a tree book, and then all the Anastasia books are there. So, isn't that cool? I haven't got the 10th book, Lucas does, but that one is absurdly rare. I've only seen it once on eBay. I can't believe I missed it. I've seen that book once on eBay in 6 years. Never have I noticed it again. I noticed them as soon as I tuned in. You got an excellent eye, because mine's only a 1080p camera, so that's a good eye. Very good eye. Very cool. Alright guys, let's keep going then. So yeah, that was an interesting 333 synchronicity. Another one. So I post in the Galactic Council of Lightworkers every now and then to let people know what we're doing, and I have done for a few years. And look at that, right in the middle, 23,331. I just thought that was interesting. That was this week. Right there, 333. And then here, Richard Carroll. Sorry, I was going to blur your names. Hope you don't mind. If you ever, in any way, shape or form, end up doing this. From the Glade. I read them aloud on my channel. Can't wait for the new translations from Gabriel. Incredible. I absolutely love that. Well, everybody, if you're interested, From the Glade, if we can come over and follow you, that would be absolutely wonderful. 555 viewers and 111 views. So, yeah, well, please do. I'll try to... Let me just... Hold on, sorry. One second. I'm just going to open your channel so that after the live I can check you out. Thanks for joining. What an amazing way for you to come and tune in. Brilliant. Deborah says, didn't you show us a photo last week, James, of folks planting on their land? I don't know. I don't know, Deborah. I'll have to think. What did I don't think I did. I don't think I did. But we'll have to see. I'm not sure. So, yeah, 333 comments on one of my videos, and I'd only just checked. That was a minute ago, so that was interesting. And then any others? And I've had some weird 222 syncs. So I did do a GoFundMe, and I set it up last night. Because, you know, the thing with YouTube is you don't get paid until the end of the month, so things have been very tight. But I had £222 in donations when I woke up, which was extremely generous and really lovely and heartwarming to see. So I thought that was interesting to show you. And then 222 on our slides for tonight. So just, I don't know, 222 seems to be, well, they all seem to be coming in at the minute, so we just kind of got to go with it. But yeah, so anyway. Prince Royal says, James, I've been thinking about the 2.5 acres worldwide. The Chinese population would have to inhabit the Gobi Desert in mass to provide such ample space for every family. You are without a doubt correct, Prince Royal. So in the idea of this, this movement, every single country, every province, every county, terminology is for each country, it has to be designed appropriately to that country. You know, so China's population compared to its land availability is quite significant, if I'm not mistaken. Michael has a better understanding of those numbers. I do know that in the United Kingdom there is 41.6 million acres of usable agricultural land with a population of 70 million people. Now, if that 2.5 acres for 5 people is accurate, that means that we have oh, Deborah, thank you. Yes, we did. We talked about Dig for Victory. That might have been a few lives ago, but you're spot on with that one. That's we'll get onto that just shortly. Yakish, hit the like button. Thank you, Yakish. Very kind of you, and thank you for your shares, my friend. Very generous of you to share the way you in the groups that you did, and welcome. Thank you for coming by. So every single country is different. Here in the UK, if we, you know, not all 70 million people will want that way of life. Let's just say that for a start. Not all 70 million people will want to, but it's available. So in the UK, you have the capacity. So it would be 83.2 million people for a capacity, and there's only 70. Other countries would be different. Mark says, do you plan to discuss the other subjects that Dave spoke on? That is an excellent point, my friend. Yeah, there are some that I'm very interested in because I've been so busy with what we've been doing. I haven't gone back to look at. We've talked about quite a few over the weeks, especially with the rainbow body in the very beginning. We talked about the photon of light, which David spoke about. There are no doubt a lot of other topics that might be relevant. We've kind of been exploring predominantly the pathway to peace. So because a lot of what the movement that we are doing is now, it's amazing because we've given birth to it since we've been speaking with you guys. So the Great Global Garden has been born since we've been chatting, over these 9 weeks. So isn't that incredible? So the answer is yes. Would absolutely consider it. If it's okay, be patient with me. I almost didn't get the slides ready this week. It was very. We went. I'll show you. In fact, I'll show you just now. So this is what we've been working on. Right here. So this front cover will change. This will change. I think it can look better than this, but this is a rough idea. Let me just turn my camera off for just a second. So we've got the Great Global Garden. This is the front cover to our document. Restoring every square inch of Britain, the sovereignty and freedom of its people, its soils, ecosystems, wildlife, and quality of food for all through forest gardening. Okay, so this is, and 2.5 acre forest gardening homesteads. So like I say, this will change. What I'm showing you is a very rough presentation. We have not fully good point, Mark. We have them. So Mark, my answer to your question is yes, we have. So last week we talked about some of the stuff that was going on in Ireland. I know there's been the big one recently that even Osmond Gold has covered with Rupert Lau, with the inquiry that went out. I won't say it. It's a very relevant topic, my friend. The problem is the British government has orchestrated this, and it's their fault. So it's like, yeah, okay. I love it when that happens. So it's an important topic to talk about. However, this week I want to go through this topic. Maybe, Osmond Gold did a great job of covering it. There's a lot of logic in it. I get what people are saying. I totally understand how people are feeling. Again, as far as I'm concerned, the idea of goodness and decency applies to every single soul on the planet. I understand that certain cultures have certain premises that are a bit tricky. There's a bit of a program dogma. So like I say, you can see I'm being a little bit cautious there. But I hear what you're saying. We'll go into it in time, I'm sure. Sans, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Absolute pleasure to have you here. Did I miss one of your comments above? Sans. I don't know if I saw your comment above. Let's have a look here. David says borders will disappear. David, you're absolutely right. Particularly one of the borders disappearing that I'm very excited about is the borders of wildlife. Wildlife no longer. So we wrote this in one of the pages, which I'm not showing you today because it's not ready. But I love the paragraph. Lucas also did a good paragraph on it. But yeah, we are talking about wildlife having free reign to move throughout the domain. So, I'm so excited. I want to talk about it. But anyway, let me go through this page here, and then I'll come full screen and we'll talk about it. Let's come across and I'll reply to you in just a second, Mark. So this is our front cover summary. So there will be 7 pages alongside this. So in theory 8, but this is a summary. So there will be 7 pages. Lucas's idea was 7 pages to heal the earth, 7 pages to restore the earth, 7 pages to heal the earth and heal your world. And so I have been working on this non-stop for 2 weeks. It has gone through multiple versions and variants so far. First page is going to be the Great Global Garden, the return of the people to the land. Second page will be a global problem, civilization collapse. We've explored this with ancient civilizations and what happened with agriculture and, the issues with deforestation. Your 2.5 acre homestead, a template for the living paradise garden. Sounds quite far out there, but it certainly isn't. The Great Task, Restoring the Edible Gardens of Britain. This is, of course, the entire globe, but unfortunately I'm on the lands of Britain, I'm on the soils of Britain, so I feel that the most that I can do for now, or the most that we can do for now, is on these shores, okay, on these lands right here. That doesn't mean that it doesn't span every single square inch of Earth, because it does. It's the Great Global Garden, but if we start here, we can be a beacon for the rest of the world. 5 Steps to Sovereignty. Lucas has rewritten this, which I haven't actually had a chance to go through yet. So this is what we have so far. The idea of being able to make it so that we can start doing this practically and literally. We tried twice. It didn't quite work. So we're going through it. Anika, no worries. You're still with us. We're right on the you haven't missed. I don't think you've missed too much. You can always go back, though. Always go back. And the Great Global Garden. The unification of all nations, peoples and creeds, which is, of course, the 7th page, the vision, the end goal. Anika, you did not. We are about to go into our meditation in just 3 minutes. So, Yakish, yeah, love you very much, my friend. I hope you're okay with the little friend. Yeah, you are cool. Love you guys. You can call me Jams. Jams, Jims, whatever you want to call. Go on and you can say it. It's all right. I'm ready. Say it. I'm joking. Yakish, no apology necessary. You lot are so funny. Smiling, laugh with friends. Perfect. I love that, Yakish. Really do love it. Yax is a pretty cool name, to be fair. It's a pretty cool nickname. I don't know if you actually ever been called that, but it's a pretty cool name. Prince says, no borders are for old souls. For younger souls with less experience, need strong borders. As they say, good fences make for good neighbours. Well, that's just my opinion. Well, interesting. I mean, look, any kind of hedges or fence rows right now will be living hedgerows, where your domain will be marked out by edible berries, fruit trees, nuts, all the lovely stuff, so it won't feel like that. There'll be nooks and crannies, little entrances for hedgehogs, birds, even the odd deer if you're up for it, I'm sure we can also, because the whole point of designing the landscape would be that you would have green corridors linking everybody together. So yes, guys, this is what I've been working on with Lucas over the past 2 weeks. This week I just went absolutely as hard as I could getting this ready. The 7 pages are written. They just need to be gone through a little bit more. So this is the first page, the summary page. I think we're getting pretty close to happy here. I think we're exploring page 6 still. Lucas's idea of lifting the Pharaoh's curse is very cool. The idea that the Pharaoh's curse is that people were taken from being slaves to being slaves, employed for coins, and like I say. Rick says, Vlad says, bad neighbours make good fences. Interesting. I actually don't get that. You might have to let me know that. Vanderberg, DC. DC, you'll have to forgive me if you're willing to share your first name. I don't mind memorising that to refer to you as your first name. If you don't want to share that, that's also absolutely fine. DC says, birds are so important and way smarter than pretty much anyone gives them credit for. Always watch the birds. Absolutely, Vlad the Impaler. Absolutely. DC, without a doubt, birds are truly magnificent creatures, absolutely magnificent creatures. Prince Royce has spoken like an old soul, James. I meant more about immigration and wildlife, but I agree. Sorry, I get you. Daphne, do friends on Daphne, we're friends on Facebook. Daphne, friends on Facebook. Is it you? If it is, again, thank you so much for your patience. I think it'll be you then. Amazing to have you here. Lovely. What a pleasure for you to be here. Amazing. From the Glade says, I'm Lenny, by the way. Great to meet everyone. Lovely, Lenny. What a pleasure. So, Lenny, Daphne, I'll try to sync that into my brain. Daphne and Lenny, so hopefully that's gone somewhere in a neuron that's that's going to memorise that. So, amazing. Annie says 7 pages. Yep, she's seen them be born over the past few weeks, so she knows all about that. Amazing, guys. Well, we're ready for our first meditation. You all ready to go? So very, very excited. Yeah, Daphne, I wanted to also say for everybody, Daphne's been very proactive in the Great Global Garden group. I've been really, really grateful to her. She's been keeping posts going on in there whilst I've been, working very hard and sort of trying to get trying to keep everything going at once. So yeah, Daphne, you've done a really phenomenal job. So everybody give a little love and thanks to Daphne, and of course our moderators today, Annie, Lucas, Bradine, and if anybody else pops in, then thank you all. So Neil from the Glades, yes, we could be leaders in this, yet we are also the most suppressed and controlled, though I'm sure up for breaking through that. Absolutely. Neil, welcome, my friend. Thank you for your patience as well. And Brizzy, I always listen to animals' behaviour. One time my cat didn't want me to walk up a hill in my backyard. I skipped it all that day. Very cool. I myself have had a few experiences like that, so yeah, love it. Absolutely with you there. Blas says, Betty Yesenia. Betty Yesenia. Betty Yesenia. I've never asked your your name, so what a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing that. Just double check I've pronounced that right. Betty, right on Trinity. Betty Yesenia. And Joie de Vie, amazing. Beautiful. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that love to Daphne. Very kind of you. Right, let's get through it then. So I'm just going to come back to main camera a second. Bring ourselves out. Bring ourselves over to our dear old David. Hopefully things are good, by the way. I know it's lagging when it goes across, but I'm assuming that's because I've got a few tabs open, which, you know, it is what it is. I'll close a couple of these for a second. Close that down, close that down. Heather, love from Utah, all in for the Great Global Garden. Absolutely love that, Heather. Thank you so much for for being back with us again this week. It's a pleasure to have you here. Absolute pleasure. Deborah says Daphne means laurel tree in Greek. Amazing. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Amazing. Right. Full screen. Full monitor. There we go. Global Peace Meditation with our beloved David. So, right, guys. Take a nice deep breath in. And just relax. Okay, we're going to be just preparing ourselves for just a moment. Katie, welcome. Thank you so much for coming back and tuning in with us. Absolute pleasure to have you here. Alright guys, so we're now about to go into our meditation. So thank you David, thank you all for being here. Let's start meditation number 1.
It's meditation, and I'll meditate on the fact that I don't ever want to have to do that again. Ever, you know, not tweaking my makeup on a live camera feed. That was so funny. All we got was audio, no video. Anyway, you guys are still asking lots and lots and lots of questions, but let's go into our meditation because that'll make it so we can end just about at the 3-hour mark. Okay, here we go. So let's close your eyes now. Put both feet, actually I'm going to go back to this one first. Close your eyes. Put both feet flat on the floor. Take a nice deep breath and just let it go. Take another nice deep breath now. Today we are working on this principle of namaste, brotherly love. The divine in me sees the divine in you. You guys are still asking lots and lots and lots of questions, but let's go into our meditation because that'll make it so we can end just about at the 3-hour mark. Okay, here we go. So let's close your eyes now. Put both feet, actually I'm going to go back to this one first. Close your eyes. Put both feet flat on the floor. Take a nice deep breath and just let it go. Take another nice deep breath now. Today we are working on this principle of namaste, brotherly love. The divine in me sees the divine in you. We're living in that reality. We're living in that truth. Feeling waves of relaxation as we breathe in healing energy. Going into a nice place of stillness now, nice place of silence, where it just feels so good to go deep and deep and deeper within, finding all of the glory of the light within, the Creator that is within us, the resonance of this all-important source field energy. Allowing yourself to breathe, to have movement, to have warmth and radiance and grace. Feeling the glory that comes in the moment of stillness, that comes to you without effort, without concern, but just is always there waiting for you to pick up that ball once again and run with it. So much love, so much happiness is available to us when we just tune in to the attitude of gratitude, to the Namaste principle. Feeling that all in the universe is sacred, learning to accept, understand, and forgive, and be at peace with things as they are now, and find ways in which we can apply brakes to the wheel of karma. That any situation in life can be changed, it can be transformed, it can be renewed. And it's not even that difficult. It just requires our own participation in our own healing process. And that is love. Learning to love ourselves is learning to love others. The two are so fundamentally interconnected. And as we find this place of unity, this place of stillness, we look for the resonating influence of love upon us. And we see just how far we've come in understanding what really matters in life. How we can take the situations that have defined our reality and transform them into something so much better than what we ever could have imagined. Finding a renewal, a place of peace. Hearing the voice of the true self as an authentic voice that resides within our heart and soul. Finding all of those different ways in which we can be so calmly, smoothly transformed so that there is no disharmony, no dis-ease. We form a shield of protection around ourselves. And we know that we are living in that truth. No harm can come our way when we walk in the light of the one infinite Creator. That we bask in the glory of the Source, in the knowingness that all is forgiven, and that all can be rectified. There are ultimately no mistakes. All is whole and pure, and we accept and understand the design of the universe and the way that it was built for us, and how we can attract more and more love and light and happiness into our lives. We have these truths as self-evident. We know that we are all created equally in the eyes of the Creator, and that there is no lack. There is no reason to ever feel that we have been left behind or shunned or kicked to the curb. But we can rise up in our own confidence, rise up in our own awareness, rise up in the strength that always is within us, that can be tapped as an everlasting oasis of truth and light and love. And then learn to live in that place. Learn to live in the glory of that which already has been and which still is. For in the grander sense, we understand and remember that we are the light, we are the love, we are the one infinite Creator. And this is as it was, as it is now, and as it always shall be. We see it in the amplituhedron, the Merkaba, in the Aum, the primordial sound, and we intone and affirm that this is our reality today, sending that loving energy and light to all those in need of prayer and healing, in all those war zones, sending it to our dear friend Arthur, and all others who are so in need of prayer and healing at this time. And so it is. Amen. All right. You want to see? Let's just try a little more of this, Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe that happened. Anyway, that was a great meditation. Thank you guys for being here. LU says I'm sending photos.
Okay, the makeup bit there made me laugh. So, sorry, I never like to interrupt the meditation too quickly. Sorry, guys. I apologise for that. Bring yourself back around. Bring yourself present. Take your time. Apologies for the quick jolt there. Just take a nice deep breath in, and please do feel free to share any gratitude you have, anything that you received in that meditation. I'm certainly grateful again for David's meditation. We will finish our meditation today with David, so we'll do our very last meditation with David. Yeah, let's have a look. It's Linda. Thank you so much for coming by and being with us. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Yelena says, miss you, David. Absolutely. Prince Royal says, it's surreal seeing my old comments on David's live. Yes, it is. And it's funny because that's what I meant to you. So on this live, I noticed you were there, as well as Soul Coach Suzanne. And also, who else? There was Suzanne as well. Our other dear Suzanne, who was messaging David. And this live was all of the way 8 months ago. 8 months ago. Suzanne. Yeah, absolutely. Suzanne, it was you who I saw. So, yeah, and like I say, Mark, appreciate your comment. I will share with you right now. So it's something that is appropriate. I don't mind sharing it with you guys at all. You will notice, by the way, my razor broke, so I sort of massacred the top of my head. So if you're wondering what that is, that's a very loose razor blade that was quite smart when I went to have a shave. So Suzanne is grateful that everyone is here. I'm grateful you're here, Suzanne. Bradine says, you're absolutely lovely, James. Much love and no worries. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Very sweet. Andromeda says, hello, beautiful family. Happy Father's Day to all of you dads in any of the chat. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Andromeda. Welcome. Thank you for coming back and being with us. Blas says, that's so wonderful, Prince. I missed a couple of years of David as I was being tortured. Oh, bless you. As a government whistleblower. Well, I'm very sorry that you endured that. Blah, sorry about that. And From the Glade says, I saw leaders within our government signing bills to allow every British person to have their own hectare of land. We need to keep visualizing it, speaking and preparing it. That was during the meditation. I love that. I absolutely love that. Amazing. Well, I'll tell you what, let's amplify that in one of our next meditations. Right, Mark. Very much appreciate your questions, my friend. I'm showing you this one. This is a rough draft that I was putting together about a month or so ago, probably a little bit further. So this is a mess. Nobody take this for gospel. This is not the pages. This is information I was putting onto a page so that I could put it backwards and forwards onto what we're talking about. So in the entire planet, there is 36 billion acres of land. 2/3 of that is completely unusable. We're talking about rainforest, mountain, tundra. These are biomes, these are locations on our world that you cannot grow, that are very unforgiving in their with habitation. Some people find a way to live there, but in any other case, they are really quite unforgiving. Which leaves us, so when we take the 2/3 of the global landmass out of the equation, that leaves us with 12.5 billion acres of land. Now, of course, the most important sentence to say here is that the map is not the territory. Okay, so you can look at a map and it will tell you topography, it will tell you distance, it will tell you orientation, but it'll never tell you what's actually on the ground, in the soil, around you, where you are. You know, there is an incomprehensible amount of information that happens when you are on the ground. So what we are talking about is a concept. It is a concept. In order to prove it, you have to walk the path. So in order to walk the path, we have to do the due diligence in order to get us there. So of course, what we're doing at the minute is we're looking and seeking to get our first plot of land, preferably between 33 and 300 acres of land. It can work on either. 300 means we have more of an availability to expand the villages around and prove it on a higher level concept. But of course, when we're looking at this, there is 12.5 billion acres of land. Now, there's only 7 billion acres of 7 billion people on the planet. When you give 2.5 acres to a family of 5, that is 0.5 acres per person. So therefore, if we're to say the 12.5 billion acres, it would be 23 billion. So you'd have 23. Double it. Come on, James. It's been a long week, guys. 25 million. 25 billion people. It would have enough for 25 billion people because half an acre each. So we're doubling the amount of land mass. If any of my maths is off there, just forgive me, okay? So the usable area of the planet is mostly chemical agriculture. So again, you see you have 80% of agriculture is chemical and livestock farming, but it only produces 20% of the food. So you have 80% of the land is used for 20% of food production. 80% of food production is on 20% of the land. Okay, let me try to. Can I help to make this easier by visualizing it? Let's have a look here. Can we do that? Are we all good? Let's have a look. Come across here. So, just to give you an idea, let's get a square. There we go. Popular searches, square, square. So this right here, this is livestock farming. 80% is livestock farming, which only provides 20% of the food. Okay? 80% of our food is only on 20% of the land. Okay? So I know that might not. I hope that's understand. Let's get a cow. I'm liking this, guys. You ready for this? Let's get a cow. Let's get a cow. So we've got a little moo cow here. Here you go. That's livestock farming. This is 80% of the land use. Fathom that for a second, guys. 80% of the land use is just for livestock farming. Okay? Agriculture, livestock farming to feed livestock. 80% of the land of Earth, the usable agricultural land of Earth, is for livestock farming, which only provides 20% of the food. That's a really nice image. That's got to go over there. Sorry, cows. I love you dearly, but that's a forest garden image right there. That's a forest garden image right there. We need another image which can be... I don't want to be rude to cows. I I can't really use a beef burger. Let's do that image. That's a nice image. Look at that. That looks tasty, right? So 80% of agricultural farming. I have all the links and sources for this. We've got it in our document. So when we release that document, you will be able to see this for yourselves. So 80% of the land is used for 20% of the food. Small farmers, small gardeners, let's say. Let's put gardeners. So small, there you go. That's a nice image. Look at that look. So small sort of family-run gardening type systems, they produce 80% of... That's the wrong way around. Silly sausage, James. Silly sausage. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. We're doing a live editing. We're live editing this this explanation. Like I say, though, I do have this as an actual... we will have it in our document, and this is kind of... I really appreciate your comment, Mark, because it's allowing me to realise what's important for the document. Andromeda, thank you so much for the $7. Awesome live stream. Thank you, James. From the bottom of my heart, your presentation, humour, charisma, kindness is really appreciated. That's really lovely of you, Andromeda. Thank you so much for the generous donation. I really, really appreciate that. And as well as the lovely words. That's really sweet of you. Very kind of you. Thank you. I'm truly heartwarmed. And you get a little love heart. I'm bringing my little love heart over there as to say thank you. Thank you so much. I send you my deepest love. That helps me out tremendously. Very, very kind of you. Arsney, live slides building is wild. It is wild. We're doing this. This is live, guys. All the mistakes you're going to get right here and right now. right in the flow of it. So did I miss? That's insane. I saw the cow and went burger. Yeah, I know. Sorry, cow. Look, I've got nothing against it. It is what it is. I needed to. I think the other image was probably a little bit more sensitive to the old cow there. Crop rotation is vital, says Prince Royal. Bradine, that brings back memories, like Sims, yeah. Blast says, oh yeah, okay, glossed over. Right, I meant about tortured government official whistleblower part. Sorry, guys. Right, okay. Yeah, so this is what we're talking about. When we start to change the agricultural practice. Sorry, guys, if any of you are... I've got a lot of time and appreciation for farmers. If they weren't here, I would have died. The only problem is farming has now become the greatest threat to the entire planet. That's a big statement. If you look at as many studies out here, we've got them all available. We've got them all in our document. Agriculture, and when we look at ancient civilizations, agricultural farming is the greatest threat to our ecosystems and our soils and our food security that there is on planet Earth. Yes, there are other things going on with government situations. Mark, I feel like you asked me if we were talking about other things that David would talk about. It's important. There is a lot of nonsense going in our world. Geoengineering is something that has been admitted multiple times through multiple media avenues. They admitted they are doing it. My mother will tell you, and I recognised something was wrong years ago. I didn't need the government or the media outlets to tell me that something was wrong with what they were doing to the skies. If any of you are sort of thinking that it's nonsense, the whole idea of geoengineering, that's fair enough. I love you very dearly. I don't want to. I appreciate everybody's ideas and understanding here. I don't want this to be a place of persecution. Personally, when I looked at the skies, I'm like, that is not what I saw when I was a kid. That is not the same. I can't. Anyway, so the point is that they've kind of admitted it at this point. People have sort of been seeing things. It's obvious they're doing these things. They're introducing chemicals in ways they should not be introducing. It's dire. It's pretty awful. It's an awful thing to be present with it. But that is why we are giving every hour, every minute that I possibly can, that Lucas can, that Annie can, of our cognitive ability devoted to this movement, the Great Global Garden. When we restore the Great Global Garden, every single problem you have with agriculture, the land degradation, the degradation of our food, what's the word I'm looking for? Not degradation. The lowering of the quality of our food, it solves it all. Forest gardening, the dynamic accumulators, the nitrogen fixers, they draw up the nutrients from deep in the soil, make it bioavailable to the plants. The plants bring it up into their cells, into their makeup, into their nutritional profiles. You and I then end up taking the benefit of it. Forest gardening is the way that we restore our soils, our ecosystems. So insects on horrendous levels are declining monstrously. I don't need you to go and look at a scientific document for that. If you remember 20 years ago or 30 years ago, driving from A to B, your bonnet would be littered with insects. It would be a massacre. You'd have to wash the front of your car because it would be littered with insects. I can drive from A to B now and I can brush my teeth in the mirror reflection. I'm not saying my car is that clean at the minute, but, and I shouldn't be laughing, it's a very distressing topic, but I'm not worried, because this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't a part of humanity's journey. We, all of us, you and I, have given birth to the Great Global Garden. We are talking about this movement because it is inevitable. Anastasia also was a massive progenitor, is the word that's coming to me, person who was talking about this before. People have talked about it over the years, but forest gardening just seems to have been put to the wayside. It seems to have been ignored or deliberately. I don't know. It's very odd. But forest gardening is hands down the solution. You get food, medicine, clean water, clean air, place of peacefulness, a place of privacy. You get infinite amounts of abundance of an incredible diverse level. We're talking about not just wheat and potatoes and carrots and cucumbers. We're talking about 1,000 species to choose from. Red currants, pears, gooseberries, blackcurrants, mushrooms, roots, shoots, leaves, berries, nuts, fruits. We are talking about an incomprehensible amount of variety that is available to us, right? That is what the Forest Garden Homestead domains do. That is what the Global Garden restores. So there is enough land. If every soul on the planet had an epiphany, an awakening, they awoke to the true nature of their being, they'd start to embody love and kindness and compassion and understanding and restoring our soils, and they move away from greed and envy and jealousy and anger and hatred and violence and power-hungry lust for control. If that was how everybody woke up tomorrow, there's enough land on this planet for everybody to have a piece of Eden. But because we live in a dualistic, diverse reality where people can choose to be loving or kind or evil or hateful, they can choose these paths. Not everybody will want to grow a forest garden. So as somebody in the chat rightfully said, there is no worries. There is enough land for everybody on this planet to have a piece of Eden. That is what I believe. That is what I believe. You know, the state of the world, the way the world is, the things that are being talked about, you know, who knows what the future is. All we know is that we can focus right here and right now on the path forward. You know, so the pathway to peace. David's last live stream, the pathway to peace. What is the pathway to peace? It is the Great Global Garden. Hands down. The Bible talks about the Garden of Eden. The Bible talks about the Garden of Eden in the way that humanity was expelled from the Garden of Eden because it was tempted by the serpent. Right, we can look into that on many different levels, galactic, philosophically, allegorically, physiologically, the reptilian brain. We can look at this on many different levels, right, on multiple different avenues. The bottom line is that there is a book written by man or not, written by divinity or not. There is a book that explains that there is a garden that meant that men and women did not have to toil and sweat for their food, for their sustenance, for their peace, security and safety. That is the Great Global Garden, and it is done through forest gardening. Okay, so that is done through the forest garden. It is done through the 2.5 acres, ode to Anastasia. Love you very much. She's right over there. All of those books there. Annie's reading one, so there are 9. I have 2 sets of 9. I'm missing one of them. I think I lent it out, and because I had 3 5s and 1 4. I now have only I don't even have a 4. No, 4 is at my mother's. I only have 2 5s. So somebody had 4 and 5, and I don't think they brought it back. But I did have 2 full sets of 9 because, as Lucas has been doing over the years, he's been lending them to people to share the message. You know, there's a lot of far out stuff in the Anastasia books that none of you would have a problem with, by the way. You'd love everything in those books. Some other people would find it a bit hard to read. Some people find Vladimir a bit hard to read. But regardless, as Lucas and I have said, he's either a literary genius where he has written one of the most powerful sets of books on the planet, or it's all absolutely true. So whichever one, it is what it is, you know. So we have within our capability a path in front of us, you know, and the numbers are there, the philosophy is there, the ideology is there, the supporting principles and values are there, the knowledge of the forest gardening is there. You know, of course, the thing with the forest garden is you can feed all of the people on 3% of the land on a vegetarian diet. Not everybody's a vegetarian, so we have to play with the numbers. We're talking about global scales. We're talking about country level scales. You know, I think my mind is pretty sharp, but we're talking about some serious some serious contemplation. Are we fully there? No, of course not. You know, we've got over the weeks it will evolve. You know, people will come in with ideas and thoughts, and they'll be like, hang on a minute, that doesn't sound right. And we'll look at it and be like, yeah, okay, nice one. Let's have a look here. You know, I'd love to show you, but it would take far too long. I think it would take too long. I want to go through some of our slides. I think it would take too long to start to show you a model of the villages and the green corridors and the wild spaces. That'd be so cool, though. Hold on a sec. Lucas? Could you pass me the piece of paper on the table which has that little thing we drew yesterday? We've got we've got live assistance here. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, actually, I don't need to do it. So this is... can I just say, this is not... The map is not the territory. This is not founded on anything logical, but it's a concept we were playing with. Is there anything... I can share everything on here, can't I? Sometimes we're silly. We have a good laugh. It's all good. Perfect. So right here, see that? Here is just an idea, right? These are wild spaces. 300 acres of land that is purely for wildlife. Here are clusters of 2.5 acre domain villages, multiple of them, that look after the, you know, if their neighbour can't grow a certain thing, hopefully the other can. Maybe another one is more interested in growing hemp or growing flax, you know. So you've got a central hub in the middle where you can gather to share produce and have celebrations and have a lovely time, but you have your private domain. Domain is yours, that if you don't get on with your neighbours, you still have a 2.5 acre paradise, and you don't have to be worrying about that. These green corridors, I'm not a great drawer, by the way, so it's something I need to work on. These green corridors connect the wild spaces and the domains, so that you can have wildlife freely moving and people. So these green corridors could be grown with vegetables, forest garden edges. You know, you could have a whole host of design. We're talking about a masterpiece of forest garden and societal design that I'm not suggesting I'm an expert on at the minute. You know, but the concept is there. You know, if in 1939 the British Ministry of Agriculture can mobilise 20.1 million people in 3 years, right? 20.1 million people in 3 years. What can we do in the modern age with social media, with the ability to broadcast knowledge and education on forest gardening, how to get on with your neighbour? You know, people aren't educating on principles and virtues of goodness and decency, kindness, compassion, patience, stoicism, fortitude, temperance, you know, authenticity, humility, peacefulness. Did I say peacefulness? I think I did. Presence. That's our 7, Lucas and I's 7 Light of Albion virtues. So, you know, people... I love that ring, James. I lost my raven ring. Ah, bless you. Blah. Yeah, well, it's funny because Annie also had an eagle ring. I bought this years ago. It was I bought it years ago, and yeah, I realised I had an eagle ring. She had an eagle ring. I love white eagle. It's part of the Anastasia. Not the Anastasia, sorry. It's part of the Light in Britain, Grace Cook. So yeah, I like to kind of I like to wear that. So yeah, I appreciate that. So you know, we're talking about societal design. There's going to be loads of objections which have to happen. You know, we have to rip this apart so that it can then it can be designed appropriately. You know, we're talking, the forest garden has 7 layers. You're designing for the layers, for the space, for the time. You know, birds that are migrating. You know, it's a tapestry. It's an artwork. You know, it really is something magnificent. You know, it is magnificent, and you'll never get bored. You know, it's a way of life where you'll never be bored. So anyway, excuse me. My mother says, and I had an incredible dream of an eagle. She did. She was stood on the Grand Canyon. She had a dream of an eagle flying by, and when she Googled the Grand Canyon, it was an actual place. How amazing. Amber, peace be with you. May you cultivate my peace within yourself. Lovely. I appreciate that very much. Amber, I'm not sure if I've seen you here before, so I appreciate you very much. Thank you for coming and tuning in. Absolutely lovely to have you here. Let's have a look. Anika says, I love it. Yakish says, and root cellars, without a doubt, my friend. I love your masterpiece, James. Oh, masterpieces in the drawing. Yeah, Lucas is the painter, artist, drawer in the house. That's for sure. Blas says, I brought meditation and stoicism trainings in Florida with the government. Amazing. Well, I love that. That's really encouraging. Deborah says, that was the photo you showed us, James? The photo? Sorry, Deborah, could you just confirm what you mean? That one, we only drew this yesterday, so it can't be that one. Which one was it? Oh, do you mean the Dig for Victory? Sorry, I've waffled on, so I've probably gone ahead from your comment. Let me know what you mean, if that's possible. Heather says, I love it so much, James. My soul is celebrating. Amazing. Appreciate that. Me too. Mum says, yes, that is mind-blowing. Yeah. Gay, welcome. Also, there is the Anastasia Foundation, who have a website and a YouTube channel, without a doubt. Yeah, on Facebook, Gabriel's doing a great job on there. Definitely go and follow those groups, guys. Anastasia, I'll probably try to find a link at some point, or maybe we'll share it. When's our next one? 1 hour 26. Okay, got time. Asana says, trade would be our global family coming together. Absolutely. Andromeda says, yes, the inspired with Gene Nolan. Gene Nolan? Who's Gene Nolan? Interesting. I'll have to write that down. Gene Nolan. Am I missing 1 second? I'll just fucking that. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. I think I see what you mean there. Let's just come back here a sec. What about things that can't grow in certain climates? They would still be covered by trade. By trade, do you mean as in, yeah, trading? The answer to that is impossible to say because you need to know whereabouts we're talking about. You know, so yeah, the idea is that we go from globalization to localization, right? Where we're growing everything that we need where we are. Okay, now. Okay, that's not always going to work. Most of our fruits and vegetables, most of our fruits come from abroad in warmer climates. Most of our vegetables are from all over the place. But the idea is that where you are, we believe, and people are proving it, that you can grow enough of a variety of diverse fruits and vegetables, nuts, roots, shoots, leaves, berries, and mushrooms, amongst any, chickens for eggs if you want. We're all vegetarians in this household, so you'll understand we talk from a very vegetarian perspective. If it's meat, then if you've got chickens, etc. The problem is that when you start talking about meat production, as you will see from this image, the amount of land required expands astronomically. So the amount of land when you have animals compared to the amount of land when you're growing a vegetarian diet is night and day. So we believe that a lot of people claim, of course, we're going off of numbers, that you could feed the entire population of a country on 3% of the land. That means that a huge chunk of the land can go back to wildlife. So you'll have to understand we are also very wildlife sympathetic. Wildlife has been given no space anymore. Wildlife has been pushed to the edges. There's an image in here I want to show you. I'll get back to the slides momentarily. There's an image in here that I want to show you, and it just shows, literally, it's agricultural fields. It is just squares of nothingness for hundreds of miles. And it shows, it shows that there are no trees. There's no trees, there's no shrubs, there's no bushes barely, apart from around the edges. So that gives no space for birds, for bats, for insects, for mammals, badgers, hedgehogs, foxes, deer. It gives lynx, because most of the predators of most countries, the apex predators, have been removed. So animals are culled, which means they're killed, because there are no predators to keep the numbers in balance. So to answer your question, Zoichka, thank you for your question. By the way, Zoichka, I'm so sorry if I haven't said hello. I know it's been I've been waffling, so I don't know if if I've said hello to you, but welcome. Thank you for coming back. So the idea is that we are exploring a dietary shift. I'm not all right. Take the meat out of the equation for just a second. A dietary shift from what we eat. So you might not buy your mangoes anymore, but you might supplement that for plums, for gooseberries, red currants, black currants. I'm talking about here in the UK. Wherever you are, you'll have a different climate. So yeah, you do have to plan for different climates. But in the Jordan desert, a guy called Jeff Lawton has been able to start grow trees. There's a massive, and I need to remember the movement because it's phenomenal. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. Lucas Annie, could you please write down the ladies of India? There's a group of ladies of India. If anybody watching actually knows what I'm talking about, please feel free to share. There are a group of ladies in India, and they are doing an incredible job of just planting trees, multi-layered gardens. They're doing an amazing job. And India's, where they are, is very arid. It's very arid. It's very hot, very dry. So they're doing it, though. It's working. Swales. It's working. Trade would be art. Yep. Uh, From the Glade says the dormant memories and wisdom stored within us are awakened when we read Anastasia's dream. Absolutely beautiful words. I agree with you completely. Gay says Vladimir is who he is. The books are amazing and really resonate, as if waking some long forgotten memories of how we used to live. Absolutely, I agree with you. It did it for me. That's exactly why we're here having this conversation. Because of Lucas as well. He shared them with me. Asana, you are so sentient. It's all palpable and tangible in great news. Where is that? Sorry, guys, I missed those comments up there. Beautiful. The global garden would also include the plants in the attic that Smackhead Steve has been banned from thanks to Tiny Tim. Yeah, if you want to, hemp, it's a very, very useful plant. Julia, hello from Berkeley, California. Missing David, thank you for honouring me. It's an absolute pleasure. Julia, if you're still here, thank you so much for being with us. Julia Diaz 4558. It's wonderful, and thank you for making the comment, and thank you for your patience with me getting to your comment. Appreciate you very much. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for our second meditation, and then we're going to go through the slides because we've kind of gone slightly away from what we were getting into today. The Ladies of India. Got it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Annie and Lucas. Appreciate that. Lucas Dragon's Womb. Yep. From the Glade says, the more we have these conversations and the word spreads further and further, we increase the probability of reaching people with money and power who can support this. Absolutely. Well, this is what I mean. As soon as these pages are done, I am messaging every perceivable soul on this planet I can, and I know for a fact that we will find somebody who will support this. We're ready. We've been ready for a very long time to get on with this, and just do it and show that it works. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's very hot in this room. Let me just... Although it's good because you can't really tell that I'm very hot. Right. Whew. Let's take it down a few notches, guys. Bring it all the way down. Let me just come over here, get back to my other slides. Today we're doing our I Am Presence Within, and I do need to get through a load of these slides because I'm doing what I did last time and not getting through them quick enough. So, alright, my beautiful family, my beautiful friends, you get yourself nice and relaxed. Absolutely love that asana. That's really wonderful. Prince Royal, James, have you heard of... Oh, yes, I did see your comment. Thank you for reminding me. Sadhguru's Save the Soil Initiative program. If so, what do you think of it? It has come up before. I will be honest with you, I haven't looked into it either for a while or for if at all. I need to look into that. So thank you for saying that. And Brizzy Tree Dog, bless you. You mentioned about the film, and I haven't stopped working all week, and I still haven't watched the film that you suggested. I really need to. Anyway, look, I will watch it, of course. I know you're very patient with me. I definitely will get around to it. Things pop into my mind. I think from this conversation we know that the work's good. Has that gone blurry? There we go. I think we're good now. Andromeda says, James, a portable AC might help. Yeah, it might. I mean, look, I just do fans to keep energy bills low. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what we do too. Normally the window open is fine, but when I close a window from a hot day because it's baked the house, the heat comes through, and But I'm not super hot. I'm not terrible. It's okay. I've just noticed we're on 2 bars of signal. Will you guys let me know what the connection's like? Hopefully we're all good. But right. I would like you to bring yourself into the present moment. Get yourself nice and relaxed. Just putting a bit of matcha lofi on in my ear. Fern Gully. That was it, Prince. Thank you, my friend. Absolutely. Big ass gym fans. Yeah, that's what we need. We do need one of those beautiful fans. Alright, guys. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax. bring yourself into the present moment. Listening to our beautiful Koshi chimes, which you'll see just there is the red one, the fire Koshi chime. Had this for a long time. Okay guys, take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just relax. Get yourself nice and comfortable. And I'd like you to bring your attention to the center of your being. Now that might be your heart, or it might be behind your eyes. But regardless, take one more nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax your entire body. Allow yourself to be present and peaceful. Now today I would like to invite you in our second meditation to firstly be aware of the power of the meditation effect as we come together. And just be aware of your I am presence. This idea of unconditioned awareness. Think of it like a grey apple. The apple is grey before you define it as a red apple. Once you define the grey apple as a red apple, it becomes a red apple. So before I am James, I am is the grey apple. And then once I say I am James, I become the red apple. I've defined myself as an identity and a person. I would like to invite you to recognize that all of your power is in that original two words. Within you is the capability to define yourself as anything you choose to be. Healthy, strong, kind, compassionate, wealthy. You have that ability to define yourself as such. Now, oftentimes we do that, but sometimes it seems to no avail. So I'd like to also remind you that this is our journey of life. And so, I am James with all my experiences, but as I go on my journey, I start to embody those definitions. James is strong. James is financially stable. James is always looked after. James is happy. If I stay true and faithful to my I am, these things will come to pass. The earth is restored. The earth is happy. The earth is healed. So I'd like to give you a moment now. These are not affirmations. They are, but It's beyond that. They are a conversation with your inner self, your inner truth, your inner light, your inner creator. Do not forget that you are a miraculous amalgamation of cells and electrical currents, of blood, flesh, water, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, your heart, your lungs. You are a miraculous physical form, and what inhabits that physical form is equally beautiful and miraculous, infinitely capable. So I leave you now, for just a moment, to have that conversation with yourself. Take your life from the grey apple and give it definition. Limitless definition. If you wish. You also might want to be an embodiment of pure God presence and awareness, and that's fine too. So take these moments now for yourself. Okay. Alright guys, when you're ready, please feel free to come back into the room. Celeste, hey James and friends, sorry I haven't been around, been going through some... That's no worries at all, Celeste. What an absolute pleasure to see you come and join us. That's really, really lovely, Celeste. And thank you again for all the wonderful time and energy and effort you gave us all over those lives. It's very lovely to see you again. Love you too. So bring yourself back, guys. Share one thing that you're grateful for, one thing that came to you. And can I just confirm... Koshi, not kosher. So there you go. Koshi. The red one is the fire one. There's wind, water and earth. So yeah, Prince, they are Koshi. Koshi. Yes, guys, so please, drop in the comments. If you are willing and able, please do drop a like on the live stream. If everybody would be able to say a bit of a hello to Celeste. Celeste was here in the very beginning. She very kindly offered to be a moderator for me, and it helped me tremendously. So appreciate you very much, Celeste. Absolutely lovely to see you back here. I hope you're okay. I wish you all the healing in the world. I hope that you feel absolutely right as rain in just a few days. Yeah, Prince. Look. Yeah, I can't say anything. Not now. You'll get me in trouble. That's absolutely... No worries, Celeste. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like the wood axe. Wood axe. Am I putting my foot in this? Wood axe? I like the wood axe. You might have to enlighten me. From the Glade. Our great wealth comes from community and family, not necessarily blood. And together... we are so powerful. I'm grateful for you all and for your... Ah, bless you, Glade. Well, that's very kind, very humbling, very kind words. I appreciate you dearly. It is an honour to be with you all, to hold this space, for you guys to make this space. Again, if I was talking by myself in this room to 0 viewers, it wouldn't be very fun. It wouldn't be very exciting. We wouldn't have many conversations. You guys are coming back week after week, and it is an absolute pleasure. You know, wood speaker... Wait a minute, what? I'm still confused. I might have to, guys, just leave you guys with that one there. I'm not sure what you mean. Very funny. Wood speaker. Anyway, yeah, without you guys, you know, it wouldn't be what it is. So it's a pleasure, absolute pleasure to have you here. Right, we're going to get into our slides. Now, I know you guys have been extremely generous, so I hope it's okay. Just, you know, it's been a massive support. My eternal love and gratitude. If it's okay with you, I would love to just pop a little goal in there. If anybody is willing to support me with perhaps a donation or anything of that level, it would be really gratefully appreciated. It is absolutely not expected. You know, there's 71 people here, and a lot of you have supported me wonderfully, and you know, I don't expect anything from anybody. I just thought I would pop that in there just in case anyone is willing, but no worries and no pressure at all. My glasses are murky again. I've got to clean them again. So just know that I love you very much. Your time is equally of immense value. You know, to spend this amount of time with me is honestly humbling beyond words. Amber says, thank you for the beautiful sounds. I want a bowl for me and my son to meditate. I am so grateful for this moment in time and space. Let's go, loving this love. I absolutely appreciate that very much. And I tell you what, if you're looking for a singing bowl, then these are just a go-to right there. Our Origin singing bowl. It is from Meinl, M-E-I-N-L. M-E-I-N-L. It's blurry, you can't see it, but M-E-I-N-L. You can't go wrong. They're absolutely exquisite. This one is, because it's small, I can't, it's a bit raspy with... I'll have to do it with the other one. I'll do it with this one. Here, I'll show you guys. I haven't actually shown you it singing yet. I've tapped it, but I haven't shown you it singing yet. Can you hear that? Amazing. It might be too loud. I've got to be careful. You hear that? Sorry. Do you know I can see the microphone and it's just gently bobbing up and down. It's actually bobbing up and down with the sound waves. That's absolutely amazing. Carolina, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if I missed any of your above comments, but absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you for being a part of the live and coming to spend time with us. Really wonderful. The purest part of the heart's soul. Soul's heart. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Absolutely. No doubt. Tree Dog says, yes, we need a singing bowl. We were just talking about asking. Well, there you go. This one is undefined. But like the bigger the bowl, the more resonance. Obviously, excuse me, the easier it is to make them sing. Smaller bowls are a little bit more tricky because holding them, you normally have to put a bit more pressure, and holding them, it's just a bit more tricky. Deborah says, my moulay cup is dry, James. I'll send some... Oh, that's no worries, Deborah, at all. I appreciate it very much. Deborah, I saw your comment, by the way. I haven't seen your message. What have you messaged me on? Would you let me know? Because honestly, I've been trying to get in touch with you for the past 2 weeks, and I can't. So anyway. Oh, Anika, bless you. Thank you so much for the €5 donation. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me and sending that forward. That's really sweet of you. That helps out massively. Honestly, that's very kind of you. So Anika, send you my love. That's very sweet. Thanks for supporting me. And again, remember, guys, there's no expectation. I just want you to know your presence here with me is that is. I don't want to say payment. This isn't an exchange. I know, Karen, if you're still here, I appreciate you very much. I know you said about turning on the ads for money because it helps, and you're right. In that sense, you know, I've been wanting to do actual YouTube videos for a really long time, and those I don't mind monetizing because that's separate. But these, I just thought it just feels bad taste. So it feels bad taste. Maybe in time, maybe there's a period of time that will go by, and maybe we get a lot more people watching, and you know, we're talking about what we're talking about, and perhaps maybe then I won't need it. You know, that's the other side of things. I'm hopefully very soon. I had a dream last night. I won the lottery, so who knows. If that's the case, guys, I'll be paying you. We'll be supporting each other at that point. So, but anyway, yeah, that was a cool dream. So right, let's come over then, guys. So Here we have Happy Summer Solstice. So this isn't the one from before. I did this again because I wanted to go through some information about the solstice. I thought, why not? We can quickly go through. It's very appropriate. The solstice moment when the sun reaches the northernmost point directly over the Tropic of Cancer. It occurs at 24 minutes past 8 UTC. I don't even know what UTC is. Universal Time? I don't even know what UTC is. Can somebody let me know? Sue Skidmore. Welcome, Sue. I don't know if I've seen your comment as of yet. Says, there is a method to win the lottery. Please tell me, because we have to buy domains and we need to give people land. So... Deborah says, the history of the Lakota people, I'll get with you this week about it. I sent it through the Great Global Garden. I'll try Telegram. Oh, yeah, I tried looking on the Great Global Garden, Deborah, and I couldn't see it. So Telegram, Facebook, or email, if you can do it through any of those, or Instagram, or TikTok as well, if you've got any of them, it's just James Malins on them all. That or my website, www.jamesmalinsofficial.com. Yeah, I've been trying to get in touch with you, Deborah, so Facebook's probably the easiest. And Yelena, bless you, thank you so much for the two BAM. I can't remember if you said to me what currency that is, but thank you so much. That's extremely generous of you, Yelena. I appreciate you dearly. Yelena says, big hugs from Bosnia, dear James. Thank you, and thank you as well, Yelena. You are a very dedicated and devoted woman. You've been here since the beginning. You know, you have honoured David, much like many have, but you've honoured David for a very, very long time, and I know he will and is very appreciative to you, regardless. You know, so I appreciate you deeply. That's very generous of you. That's absolutely no worries. Honestly, Yelena, that I don't expect anything from anybody. So the fact you've done that is really lovely. So send you my love. Thank you so much. Deborah, Facebook it is. Thank you, Deborah. I'll check my my message requests and my inbox. So yeah, if we chat through there, that's really easy for me. So I appreciate that very much. Summer solstice it's the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere and marks the astronomical start of summer while simultaneously being the shortest day of the year for places like Melbourne, Buenos Aires and Cape Town, marking their winter solstice. Amazing. I still find that amazing. 2 hemispheres, 2 different climates, 2 different seasons. The sun reaches its maximum northern declination of plus 23.44, sitting directly above the Tropic of Cancer. Megaliths and the summer solstice go hand in hand. Many ancient stone monuments were deliberately built to align with the sun's position on this day. So we have Stonehenge, the big one. At sunrise on the summer solstice, the sun rises roughly in line with the heel stone and shines into the centre of the stone circle toward the altar stone. Thousands of people, druids, pagans and curious visitors alike gather at the monument every year to watch it happen. So again, there's this curious philosophy that our ancestors knew something about the alignment of the stars, the layout of the land and the stones that go with them. Andromeda says, I sent James a link to the video on Telegram and he replied, so I assumed he received it. I did reply? How? You mean just now? Oh, a second. Sorry, let me just double check that. Which video do you mean, Andromeda? I think I remember what you mean. You'll have to forgive me. My mind, after the busy week, has been... Sorry, Andromeda, you'll have to... Oh, Russia's secret. What they're building in Russia? Is that what you sent me? I'm so sorry. I haven't had a chance to watch that. It is open to my... on my... No, not now, James. Oh, I see. Yeah, the one. Yeah, I got you. Deborah says it has to do with the Earth's axial tilt. Yeah, very interesting. Absolutely. Newgrange in Ireland. Slightly older than Stonehenge, 3200 BCE. Newgrange is more famous for its winter solstice alignment. A beam of sunlight travels down a narrow passageway into the inner chamber only around December 21st, but the site as a whole was clearly built with deep solar awareness. My Show, Orkney in Scotland. Another My Show, Lucas, that's My Show. My Kai is AE, so my must be the same with Scottish pronunciation. This was the image I was talking about. Now this is gorgeous. I do love the sort of landscape, but this is wrong, guys. You know, okay, this island might, you know, the front of the the ocean front might not be forest level, but this is far too uniform. It's just one crop, one grass, you know, so these can be transformed, you know. But look, you can see the farmhouses. I believe they're farmhouses. You know, some of the farmhouses, you can see the tracks here. So this is monoculture agricultural farming, and the soil will be desolated, you know, so crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, this is my show, Orkney in Scotland, another passage tomb tuned to the winter solstice sunset, but part of a wider Orkney megalithic landscape, including the ring of Brogdar, where solstice alignments both summer and winter show up repeatedly. Gossek Circle in Germany, a Neolithic circular enclosure, 4900 BCE, with gates aligned to both summer and winter solstice. Amazing, look at that look, isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love that. I don't know which, it must be those two? It's got to be these two. I haven't researched this one specifically, so I don't know myself. But yeah, interesting. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, it must be, because the sun alignment on through summer and then through winter will be different. It'll be over here and then up the top. Whoopsie, too far. One of the oldest known solar observatories in the world. Amazing. Gossek Circle in Germany. Zoichka says, I've been to Orkney. Fascinating place. Mysterious standing stones there. Lucas and I are really wanting to go there. We want to go to Orkney and we want to go to Iona. That's two places we really want to go. Mummy Malins says, Yelena, it doesn't matter how much you have a big heart. James appreciates. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Yelena. Without a Bosnian mark. Oh, is that the currency? Very interesting. Iona. Yeah, absolutely, Lucas. Iona. Zoiska says, yes, I've been in the Mound in Orkney too. It's so interesting. You bend down into this small passage and the light shines through. I did get a bit of claustrophobia crawling through there. Yeah, interesting. Absolutely. Andromeda says, anyone believes in flat earth here, or a construct with 12 realms of heavens, or a globe, or all globe earthers? Just curious. It's all Andromeda. Lucas will tell you that's always one. There are a lot of things in our world. Well, that's one of the things I can't say I have an opinion. You know, you'll see that the Great Global Garden, all right, okay. You know, it's not something I have a particular opinion in at all. You know, so, but yeah, maybe someone else in here is, for sure. Don't ask why I don't have a definitive opinion. I haven't been to space, so I just choose to sort of edge on the side with that one. Might seem silly, might not, I don't know. Yelena says, I wish I could send you $10 million. I wish you could. Not that I would have that 10 million for long, because as good old Steve Irwin says, I don't give a rip whose money it is, I'm going to put it into wildlife conservation. I don't need a gold-plated Danny or a flash car. I'm here to protect wildlife. Yeah, I wouldn't have 10 million for long. We'd be buying land, you know, and helping out because who needs it? You know, like, I don't need £10 million. I mean, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. You know, but it's like I know a lot of people really love Elon Musk. A lot of people like, you know, he's doing what he's Elon doing what he's doing. But you know, when you're a trillionaire, I mean, are you here to tell me that the people of that level have no concept that forest gardening and giving people their land back, which they all know that they stole over thousands of years of enclosure, isn't a sensible thing to do to heal and save the world? It just seems very odd to me. You know, it seems very odd to me that, you know, they took all the land over years on many countries, and they don't know that giving people back the land isn't the path. Don't know, guys. $1 trillion, most people, you know, cost of living crisis. It just seems very odd. You know, it's very odd. It's very odd. Crikey, mate. Yeah, exactly. Bradine says, Andromeda is a perspective and where you are at the creation of the creator. Interesting. Stooge or Stage? Great name for a show. Yeah, interesting, Mary. Welcome as well. I think you've commented today, Mary. A bit welcome as well. Anyway, Mum says great Australian accent. Well, that might be left to be seen. Lucas says it's a topic we usually avoid as it creates tension and division. But personally, my father flew on Concorde at 60,000 feet and saw the curvature of the Earth with his own eyes. Yeah. So, great comment, Lucas. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's really why. You know, it's for that exact reason. You know, that's all it is. Deborah says, I've been to the stars numerous times. Mother Gaia is definitely round. Not flat, but that's my opinion. Love you, Deborah. Yeah, appreciate that. And like I say, look, I just choose to move away from the conversation. That's all it is. I'm not adverse either way. Lucas, I took a. I too am a pilot. The training is based on a flat Earth model. Interesting. Yeah. Well, like we respect each other's beliefs in here. That's unless it does harm to another, then okay, that's a bit. But those beliefs are very. Aussie accent is hilarious. Love it. Thank you, Andromeda. Neil says that's not the path they wish for, though. The darkness has taken this world for 12,000 years and wishes to keep its grip. Though us coming together and creating spaces and this spreading in the world will, I think you're going to eventually raise the collective vibration, and the darkness will no longer be able to be here. I agree with you absolutely. This is, like you say, the Guardians and the Gardeners are waking up one by one. I love that, without a doubt. I love that sentence. Yeah, you're right, Neil. This is a part of the journey of humanity. And it's inevitable. It's inevitable that what they've been doing stops. Simple as that. So right. The great temple of Amun-Ra at Karnak has an axis aligned so the sun sets precisely down the main corridor on the summer solstice. Incredible. Isn't that beautiful? Excuse me. Few facts for you. Most of these builders didn't have writing, but they tracked the sun's yearly cycle with remarkable precision over generations, using the solstices to mark the agricultural calendar, time festivals, or encode cosmological beliefs into permanent stone. The fact that structures across Britain, Ireland and continental Europe all show this solar engineering suggests it was widely shared preoccupation. Widely shared, that doesn't make any sense, but must have been a typo, across Neolithic Europe. And then here we are to this week's revisiting. But what I would actually like to do is I want to go to the I am and then go backwards, because I think you're going to find I want to sort of do it in an odd order. So normally we kind of cover what we covered last week, but I want to make sure I get the new content in, so we're going to do it a different way. So I'm just going to come to the main camera a second. Come over here. Interval 3, 2 hours and 9 minutes. So we've got a bit of time. That's fine. Where are we? Right, okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll go... or maybe we will start and just go through. Maybe we will start. All right, guys, let's just go into it. Let's go into it, and we'll get through it all. Yeah, I know we will. Only after the last tree has been cut down, only after the last river has been poisoned, only after the last fish has been caught, only then will you not find money. Will you find that money cannot be eaten? Absolutely, Amber. Is that the song by that lady? What's her name? Bro, you know the lady's name. You'll have to pop it into the comments. Angela, I pulled some wildflowers yesterday from my garden to bring indoors for the solstice. 2 are yellow flowers. The other is a white Shasta daisy. I picked some lemon balm and red clover here. I love that. Well, we foraged some cleaver. We've been foraging red strawberries. We have a gorgeous honeysuckle bush down the bottom of our little garden here, just by the river. Yeah, we found puffballs, white clover, red clover. There's been red campion in quite a lot. We've got Herb Robert in quite a lot in the garden, in quite a quantity. So yeah. Mommy Malins says, yes, wonderful holiday in Egypt when James was younger. We visited many temples. We did. I went down one of the small pyramids, and I get the claustrophobic side. It's quite a thing. So I was adjusting my pillows. What was the question regarding the lady's name? What's that song, bro? Aurora, is it? She, when you can't, it goes, Amber commented above. Only after the last tree has fallen, only the last river has been poisoned, only the last fish has been caught, then you'll find that money can't be eaten. That's those lyrics of that song that I think you like. Angela says, awesome, James. Deborah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, interesting, Deborah. I had 3 past lives there. That's very curious. I certainly feel like it. My mother and I have certainly felt... Aurora, I'll get the name. The Seed. There you go, The Seed. Right, guys. Right, let's get through it. So the next one is 2 hours 9. So we've got a few minutes. So you are a natural person. This is going to lead into the I am philosophy, which is, if we're to go really deep, it is the nature of who and what we are at the deepest level. It is the undefined awareness before it is defined. It is the grey apple before it becomes a red apple. Or it is the seed before it becomes the apple, whichever analogy fits more. You are a divine, free and natural person, a fractal of all that is. What is a fractal? A fractal is an infinitely complex pattern that is self-similar across different scales. What does this tell us? It tells us that you are endowed with the undiluted pure potential of all that is. However, we have been born into perceived limitation to experience life to the fullest and ultimately experience the sensation of returning back home to fullness. Now, you'll have to accept my apology here, guys. I am telling you these as though they are concrete, absolute facts. I want you to know that anything I say or anything I'm talking about, I honour your own free will and what you believe to be true and what you understand. So know that as I say this, I'm exploring it as an idea and concept, and please honour your own free will, your own discernment, and see what feels right for you. That's always important to bring forward. Some things to ponder. No one is above or below you in truth. There are no superior races, creeds, or people in truth. No one has right over another in truth. So again, you are a divine natural person, a fractal of all that is. So this idea now is interesting. So when David talks about the amplitude hedron, or the macabre, or the photon of light, and talking about the nature of our reality being a holographic reality where we emanate from light, and that's what we are, we're solidified light. So that's why I've got the sun there. You cannot eat money, oh no. You cannot eat money, oh no. Yeah, absolutely, Angela, you got it. So you got the light, the fractal, which then becomes our physical body and our mind. So we are, as we're looking through our eyes, and our awareness is in our pineal gland, which is interesting because it has piezoelectric crystals. There was somebody who corrected me on that, and I appreciate you. It might have been you, Prince Royal, I think. So, or Blah, one of you. So it's got piezoelectrical crystals, or they say crystals similar to those in the iris or the eye. Iris, maybe not. Sorry, don't quote me on that. But similar crystals to those in the eye. So interesting, isn't it interesting that where we feel that our awareness is coming from behind our eyes, there are similar crystals to the eye, which absorbs light. So, the question that I think is very important is, why is the world the way it is? Everyone has free will to choose. Being a natural person means choice. It means free will. Free will to choose love or hate, to choose honesty or deception, to be decent or indecent, courage or fear, hope or despair, gratitude or ungratefulness, forgiveness or resentment, humility or arrogance, compassion or cruelty. So, in this dualistic, should we say third dimensional physical reality, as we are all walking around as awakening souls, awakening people who are waking up. I can see some people are hitting the like button. If you're watching and you haven't hit the like button already, would you be willing to hit the like button? Or if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you get notified every week when we go live. So, appreciate you guys very much if you're willing to do that. But everyone has free will. So we have free will to be good and loving, and we have free will to be hateful and evil, if we want to entertain that. Now, the idea of that is that that's a part of the experience. The whole idea that we created the adversary so that we could then experience the full completeness of reality, and going from this idea of limitation to being limitless beings as we usually are. As we are at our foundational principle. How do you know that's true, James? You're giving me statements of fact. Well, I always like to look at my physical body. It's a miracle. It's an absolute miracle. My body is defined. My bones, my veins, my skin. It is defining a body. It is defining a physical avatar. It is defining a vehicle. Isn't that crazy? I mean, think about it. My eye isn't just floating off into the distance. It's here. It's with me. So I just find it interesting that is a true miracle on Earth. Your body is a miracle on Earth. So, is it so hard to believe that we're truly limitless beings beyond the illusion? Crisea, thank you. David the metaphysician. Why can I not pronounce that word? Appreciates the I am presence within each one of us being activated together. Absolutely. I appreciate your comment very much. Suzanne says, is the bowl made out of copper? No, it's not. It is made out of an alloy, I believe. I couldn't tell you what it is. I'm pretty sure it's not copper. It might be brass. I don't know. I'm not sure. I was walking down some steps in the temple. I felt it was Nefertiti. Deborah says, Teresa, it's really fascinating and fun to be able to self-regress back to a past life or lives. Very interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Almost ready for our next meditation. Okay. Annie, if you're watching, like a really silly sausage, I didn't bring an apple or anything in. Would you be able to bring me an apple or a little... Soul Coach Suzanne, love to everyone, blessed solstice. I've been here but couldn't get into the chat yet. That's absolutely fine, Suzanne. When we watched David's meditation, I don't know if you saw, but your comments were coming up from 8 months ago, which was really lovely to see. So it was lovely to see you present in his live while we were listening to the old meditation. Tree Dog says, we do a lot with crystals here in Maine. They are awesome. Our business is a rock hounding education business. Would you be able to let us know what that is? Amazing. I don't know if I've ever heard of that in my life, ever. So yeah, that's really incredible. Bradine says, as within, so without. The exterior life is a reflection of us. So many patterns in nature to show us this. Without a doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, guys. Free will is, however, affected by a few things. It is affected by current and future experience and information, circumstances like stress and time pressure, reason, I'll tell you why I'm sharing this in a moment, a sense of right and wrong, unconsciousness, consciousness, cognitive bias, which is the idea of you being relatively only aware of yourself. So cognitive bias is your bias towards yourself. Upbringing, drugs and alcohol. So, excuse me, the reason why I'm saying this is because when we look at this path of where we're going, and if we can accept that free will is the experience to make choices in our world, we're seeing that there are choices that are unacceptable because they cause horrendous harm to others. They cause horrendous pain and suffering to other people. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. And so, if we're to talk about going back home, then those behaviours, it doesn't make sense. Does it make sense? You tell me. Does that make sense? Do you think that we can live in a world where on a Monday somebody can cause grievous harm to another person and call it peace on earth? It doesn't seem very right, does it? So therefore, I know that I have no intention to cause harm to another person on this planet. And so therefore, there's that element, there is that element that free will is free will, but there are things I would never do on this planet because of the way I orientate myself, so that's something I think to be considered. Free Queen says, has it been 2 months already? It has. It's been 9 weeks. Yeah, well, this is the 9th week, 9th Sunday. Soul Coach's answers, yes, it was bittersweet, as is everything connected to our beloved David for me, even after 2 months. Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Amazing, Deborah. Yeah, Soul Coach and Free Queen, we're going to be finishing with the meditation with David again today, so that'll be lovely. It's still crazy. It is still crazy. He isn't going live. So where is he? Past or in hiding or... I hope you guys don't mind me having a quick bite of an apple. So we have to understand. Yes, we do, Zoichka, absolutely. We have to understand that free will it's affected. So free will isn't just the pure conscious awareness. Sometimes free will is affected by unconscious habits and behaviors. So perhaps this gives us a little more understanding for our brothers and sisters. Now, I am going to tell you that, there's a lot going on in the world at the minute. There are British politicians who are really going to town on some of the stuff that's happening, and I don't blame them. It's very... Let me talk to you in this one. It's a hard one, because not talking about it seems insane. The stuff that's going on in Britain with the gang inquiry that just came out, the stuff that's going on, the certain ideologies, and you don't forget I worked in a certain job where I was around individuals and I did see it firsthand. So there are things I did see firsthand. There are cultural habits, cultural behaviours, cultural beliefs and ideologies of all walks of life all over the planet. So when I say what I say on this slide, that perhaps this gives us a little more understanding for our brothers and sisters, there are some things that are unacceptable, right? There are some things that are unacceptable. How do we deal with those things? I need more time to meditate on it. It's hard. There are people who have gone to the extremes at the minute saying about bringing back the death penalty in the United Kingdom. A lot of us here look from a more sort of, I suppose you could say, spiritual perspective. The idea that we're all one, the idea that we're having experience, the idea that beyond the adversary, beyond the hero and heroine's journey, that we are all a family beyond this in the other world, on the other side, whatever word sounds more grounded. It's a tricky one. That's one of the conundrums of life. I don't believe that you can just sit by and allow somebody to harm you, but then again, I never get harmed because of the way I orientate my spirit. Again, listen, guys, I have no problem talking about. I implore the 5% rule. We will get a lot of people over the years from now on who come across what we're talking about. So I'm just trying to be all inclusive of many people, so that we maintain, all inclusive of other people. So that's all I'll say now. But it's a tricky one. These slides for me are a little bit... They're a little bit tricky. They're a little bit tricky, Tree Dog says, our business is called Dig Main Gems. I love that. If you want to Google search our site to know the full story, but basically we teach people how to collect gems and minerals locally and just for fun in general. I love that. Dig Main Gems. Let me just pop that in a second. Dig Main Gems. Absolutely love that. Yeah, I've got you. Okay, I'll check that out afterwards. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's really cool. Andromeda says, we miss David. Yes, James is doing a wonderful work in his honour. There's a reason why we all stick to... that's really kind of you. Why we all stick to this live stream and do it every Sunday now, and we all became a spiritual family. I agree with you, and that's really humbling, as always. Appreciate you very much. That's a really nice thing to say. And that's what I... in the very beginning live we did, I said, if I'm not the person, I won't do these ever again. And you were all very gracious. And we've carried on ninth live. So... amazing. Right, guys, we're ready for our third meditation. So don't forget, whilst we're preparing ourselves for peace and presence, remember the power of these meditations. David knew that all too well. It's why he wanted people to help him to do them, which is what we're doing. Isn't that amazing? We are doing what he asked. He said, please influence us. Not that I class myself as an influencer. I think it's I'm not saying I don't influence people because he asked people to help him do global peace meditations, and we're doing it. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, let's come over. Full monitor. So, I'd like to invite you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax. This is our third meditation. We are in the middle, just over the middle of our life. So we are 2 hours and 12 minutes in. We'll be going to 3 hours and 33 minutes. So get yourself nice and relaxed. Close your eyes or get into whichever position feels right and comfortable for you. Okay. So take another nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax. So we are going to go through our I am with you prayer. It's funny because we're talking about I am today. So, Great Spirit, we are present, we are with you, and we are here. We give thanks to the people of plant and stone, to the people who stand where their roots have now grown. We give thanks to those who crawl and who creep, to those with fins who swim in the deep. We give thanks to Great Eagle and those with wings, whose wisdom and truth Father Sky brings. We give thanks to the chiefs of fire and air, of water and Mother Earth, whose healing we bear. Grandfather Sun and Grandmother Moon, you are the light, and we are the tune. Medicine walks reveal what you give, the language of love as the reason we live. Whirling rainbow brings a promise of peace, of uniting all nations, all peoples, and all creeds. From our hearts to our roots to our crowns above, may we learn all our lessons and be open to love. We give thanks to the directions on the sacred wheel, whose guidance speaks on the winds that heal. We stand for all that is right and true, so that your loving light may shine on through. The presence of light or Christ resides in our hearts. May we forgive all those who miss their mark, as well as ourselves when we stumble and fall and fail to uphold the highest of all. We walk this path in service to others, for nature, children, our sisters and brothers. Our minds are quiet and our hearts revealed. The earth is restored and your children are healed. Danaho Wio, it is said and it is good. Namaste and Amen. So I give you a few moments now just to relax and be present with yourself. Alright guys, when you're ready, bring yourselves back into the room. Namaste and Amen. Thank you, Mummy. Tammy, no worries. Whenever you can join us is wonderful. So please feel free to share one thing that came to you, one thing that you might be grateful for. And remember, we've just done our third meditation, the effect that we will have on the planet with these words, with these intentions, cannot be understated. Thank you for your patience with my little munches. So, Tammy, thank you for the love. Free Queen, thank you for the love as well. Bradine, know you can talk with him as well. I just wanted to know he was okay and doing well wherever he is at in creation. I got an answer. Oh, wow, interesting. I spoke to David one night and I was told I would see something in the night sky. I did. The clouds parted and I saw the moon and a smile, and as a smile, and a rising dragon or phoenix. Amazing. Wow, that's profound, that is. So yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. Soul Coach Shazan says, you are definitely the soul God chose to carry on and keep us together. Oh, bless you. Well, that's very kind of you to support each other in a new way. That's very kind. And again, Suzanne, thank you for your patience with my reply. This week was insanely busy. So we managed to get a massive load of work done on the 7 pages that we're going to be presenting to the world. So there's a lot of people I need to get back to. So again, thank you for your patience. Very kind of you. Appreciate you very much. Right, so that was our 3rd meditation. Our next one will be 2 hours 52. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Let's get back to our slides. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't already, our Facebook group, The Great Global Garden, I still need to change that. Busy week. Didn't get around to it. Discord, if not, so I'll show you here. Let's come over to the full monitor. Over here on Telegram, we have... I don't mind showing you. There's nothing to hide with that. So we've got James Malins, Global Peace Meditation. So if you want to join on Telegram, this is the Telegram group. And we have our Facebook, our Telegram. That's the Telegram channel. That's the Telegram group, which is Restoring Planet Earth. So you'll find this from here, I believe. So you'll find the group from here. So this is where a lot of us have been gathering, sort of to have a few chats. I've not done a very good job of responding. And then, yeah, so you can come and join us on Facebook as well. So please feel free to there. And we're on Discord if you want to. The links are all in the description of this video. So you will find, if you open up the description, you can find all the links to my prayer that you're more than welcome to use and have for yourself if you like. So yeah, right, let's get back to it then. Perhaps, there we go, here we are. So perhaps this gives us a little more understanding for our brothers and sisters. Perhaps we don't know what we don't know until we know. Perhaps expanded understanding will unite our people together. This is why change is infinitely possible, in our world. New stimulus and experience can change everything. So this is why I believe that we're equally capable of making tremendous change in our world. Anika says, thank you, James, for guiding us through that. I saw myself walking and picking berries of all different kinds. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's really beautiful. Deborah says, I am grateful for your beautiful I am with you prayer. Thank you. My mother says, I am grateful we have all found each other. I love that. Suzanne says, feeling gratitude for us, still together in a deeply meaningful way. Absolutely, I agree with you. Free Queen, 22 o'clock over here. Yeah, it's 21:22 here, which is interesting. So yeah, 222, the synchronicities came up a lot this week, so that's very nice. So absolutely. Orientating to light or darkness. We did cover this last week, so we'll go through quite quickly. Everyone can choose their path in life. That's the nature of free will. Light or dark. I do believe that on the journey, one path expands where the other shrinks. Both paths have value, or else we wouldn't be experiencing what we're experiencing. But I believe the choice as to which one we align with is very, very close. When hate exists, love struggles, and vice versa. One illuminates, makes whole, unifies, brings together in warmth and joy. The other clouds and veils, separates, divides, takes away from, and makes cold. are we on a path to truth? Now, this is an interesting question I would like to explore with you guys. Are we on a pathway to truth? Are we on a pathway back home? You know, like we say, can you have a lovely forest garden nurturing your children if you have people who, you know, want to harm that child? I don't think so. You know, this is that idea of our minds or thoughts, you know, will be available, you know, telepathy, or as Anastasia puts it, telepathy, which I love. DC says, there is a third path if you ask me. I've been talking about this. Please share. I would really love for you to. Very interesting. Please do share. Daphne, I would absolutely love for you to share. Bradine, so having shared that, this is why I'm so very certain that David didn't leave, and he certainly didn't leave in the manner we were told. Yeah. You know, I mean, look, yeah, I'm certainly with you. It seemed very odd. You know, it definitely seemed very odd. That's absolutely no doubt at all. Yeah, Daphne, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please do share. So, natural law. So, if you remember our third live, there is a messenger which shows us truth. The messenger is nature. Natural law is the idea that certain moral and legal principles are inherent to humans through the observation of universal law found in nature, or the natural world around us. They do not depend on governments or traditions to be valid. Natural law holds that there is an objective moral order built into reality itself, accessible through our reflection on nature and human nature in its uncorrupted form. Itchy nose. What is good for human beings is the central question. So, for example, if hate isn't good for a human being, then, you know, how can it be a part of what we're talking about? If love is good for human beings, then right, we've got it. That makes sense. There is a deeper spiritual philosophy that hate can be good because it allows an individual to go on a journey and then ultimately experience the... I understand that. You know, that's the tricky part. That's the paradoxical nature of what we're talking about that we will never get away from, you know, is that on a deeper level we don't know what we don't know. We can only see what we can only see on our radar screen, and everything that's off the edge of our radar screen is the universe at work. You know, that's life. So... Daphne says the grey one. I think you mentioned. Have you mentioned this to me before? Did someone else mention this? It's interesting. Daphne says the grey one, cause in order, because in order to remain working from the light path, you need to understand the dark path. That's a very tricky thing to do, but if you do, you are walking the path to full truth. Very true. You know, and that's where we start to come to the paradoxical nature. So. No, absolutely. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. So one thing that came to me many years ago was I got this whisper, and it was I was in a situation at the time, and it said, "How much are you willing to sacrifice?" And I was like, "Quite a lot. You know, I can give a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort to this situation." And then a few months went by, and it got harder and harder, more difficult, more challenging, and I reached a capacity. I was like, "Oh, I can't go any further. There's too much. There's too much instability." And so then I got the whisper again. Now, do you understand the difference between learning through love and learning through pain? Right? So you could argue that's the grey path, right? The grey path is learning through both, understanding that life is a tapestry where, you know, there is no way to observe, you know, when we define something as good or bad, you know, we don't know what we don't know, right? That's the premise, is we don't know what we don't know. So how can you define this idea? Well, you know, I just come back to the spectrum of behavior on planet Earth. You know, the files that came out. There are some behaviors that those people are doing that are just beyond psychosis. You know, it's beyond psychotic to be okay with behaving in that way to another human. I struggle to drown a tick that's on me. Do you see what I mean? I feel guilt and compassion for a tick. How ridiculous is that? That's an interesting one. How many of you think that's insane? You know, because a tick it feeds off you. It can cause disease. It can hurt you. It can breed more ticks. And then all you got is things latching onto you, biting you. You know, how's that pleasant? But, you know, I mean, Lucas and I have talked that a lot of biting and stinging animals could be nature's vaccine, right? Interesting. So, you know, I struggle to, you know, because I flush them down the toilet because I can't put them outside because then they'll breed and then we've got more ticks. And that's the problem, isn't it? You know, if you don't flea your animals, then you have a flea epidemic in your house. So there's this very promiscuous grey area, like you say. Promiscuous, I always use that wrong. Promiscuous, is that the right word? That might be the wrong word. Promiscuous might mean something else. Promiscuous? Anyway, so there's an interesting area. Yeah, it's an interesting area of discussion. One thing that we realised is we went to a farm. Yeah, interesting, Mark. So Mark Pastio speaks on this subject at length. Absolutely. I've watched like a 3.5 hour video of Mark Pastio. Ironically, I went over my folder that has all my notes in, and I thought to myself earlier I should go back over them. So that's a really good point, Mark. I appreciate you sharing that. This is the question of humanity. This is genuinely. Promiscuous is definitely the wrong word. I know, bro. You need to tell me what the right word is. Oh, that's okay, Free Queen. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. Beverly says, thank you, James. I appreciate you. But I have to go now. See you next week. No worries at all. You take care of yourself and we'll see you next time. David says, many different paths that all connect. Absolutely. I mean, the paths wouldn't be happening if they weren't leading us to where we're going. Right? I'm just glad you flushed the toilet. What? Oh, the ticks. Yeah, I get you. Bro, you can't do that to me. You're going to trip me up. So, you know, there's this very interesting, like you say. But, right, so here we get to it. So the thing that came to me was, do you now understand the difference between learning through love and learning through pain? Yeah, Beverly, have a lovely week. Hopefully, permissive. Maybe Deborah. I got it wrong, though. Yeah, you have a lovely week, Beverly. So, difference between love and pain. If I behave in a more loving way, yeah, okay. There's, you know, if I get, you know, let's just say there's been a time in my life when I've been upset with somebody and I've got angry. Maybe it stopped them from them causing pain to another person. Maybe that happened with me. You know, we can't ever define what's good or bad because that becomes very difficult. But if I choose to carry myself in love, if I choose to be loving, be as kind as I can, be as compassionate as I can, be as you know, whilst also having my sovereignty and being a strong man or woman, as in talking about you, I'm a man. So there's this interesting exploration of human nature and human behaviour and human relationship dynamics. That's a word that probably somebody used that already, but it just came to me when I was talking to Lucas, that we're really exploring the nature of human relationship dynamics, how we get on with each other. You know, so all I know is what I can do. I can learn through love or I can learn through pain. You know, sometimes, you know, if I've got somebody who's, you know, wanting to cause me harm, I can try to de-escalate the situation. I used to do it in the prison service. But if that person keeps coming, then force is necessary. Or else I then, you know, my life could end. So it's a very interesting societal question. But, Lucas, what have you done? What have you done? Deborah says, if the toilet isn't flushed, a terrible smell can occur. I can confirm that when Lucas has left the bathroom... I'm not sharing that. He'll be upset with me. We do have a good laugh in this household, I have to share with you, but we're keeping this we're keeping this live PG, keeping toilet humour out of the live. I'm joking. You can have all the toilet humour you like, guys. Kids find it funny. We find it funny. It's universally funny. Yeah, it's the one thing that we've got in the world that we can just laugh about. So, anyway. So, yeah. Very interesting. James laughs more. I'm the mature one. Oh, yeah. Okay. If anybody in this live believes that, then I don't know what witty thing to say. Sending some digital air freshener. We need it for Lucas, that's for sure, because his bum stinks. All right, look. Okay, come on. Let's keep going. We're getting way out of topic. We're talking about the liberation of humanity, not his stinky bum. I'm joking. What's life without a laugh? You know, there's enough to be enough to be upset about. Having a good. It's funny because we've just gone to we've brought people in with our toilet humour. We've got 7 more lovely people joining. Very funny. Oh. Right. Okay. Let's get through it. The light of reason is they're interesting. You see, reason interesting. Guljan. Would you let me know if Gullian? I think that's probably pronounced Gullian, is it? Watching from Kazakhstan. Incredible. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry if you joined at the wrong moment. We were having a little bit of a joke there about it. That it is, Lucas. You can't escape it now. That's it. It's immortalized in their understanding. No, I'm joking. But yeah, thank you so much for... Can we not, guys? Annie, I made a rose petal air freshener. She did, and it didn't work. Anyway, Gullian, if that's how you pronounce your name, thank you so much for tuning in. Very, very kind of you to be here. Very kind of you. So, Aquinas says, the light of reason is placed by nature in every man, woman and child to guide them in their acts toward their end. We have not been left alone or without in our world. The intelligence of nature demonstrates the law. There is a book of life written in the trees. Gullian says off topic. We were a bit off topic, yeah. We don't normally have these kind of... No, we do. Anyway, you like it, you love it, you don't, it's all good. But appreciate you very much. Thank you for being here. Within it, we may find the full spectrum of guidelines which lead us back home. Oopsie. So then it comes down to the question, who do we choose to be? Free will means we can pursue and choose life or light-orientated behaviours as well as anti-life or dark-orientated behaviours and character. Many people speak about our shadows and integrating those shadows. My chat working now? It is, Asana. What happened? Was it not working for a while? Sorry about that. We certainly missed you. I don't know why that wouldn't work. That's a shame. Well, glad you're back with us. Or to try and put it clearly, who am I? Who do I want to be? This leads us back to the free will slide. It leads us to the story of the twins. Have you heard it? That story presents many philosophical ideas. As we proceed throughout life, we receive more and more information, stimulus and experiences which provide us with the opportunity to make the best choices in life. Equally, we can choose to ignore these stimuli, breadcrumbs, and disregard the increasing discomfort such choices and decisions bring into our lives. I'm pretty sure that was... Lucas. Lucas wrote that. Mastery in Motion Meditations. Hello, welcome. Have you been with us? I don't know if I've seen your comment before, but very much appreciate you being here and thank you for welcoming Gullian or Guljan. Sorry, let me know which one's better pronounced. Yeah, amazing. Lol, during this incredibly mature conversation, were you not able... Wow, that was interesting. I was not able to post my comments for a while. That's really weird. I don't see anything on my end, so, you know, I'm sure you were absolutely bursting at to get in on that humour. The book brought me here. Incredible. Which book? That's very interesting. Well, amazing. That's incredible to have you here. Thanks so much. Free Queen says there is a French saying that says if you can fart among one another, you're married. Well, we're all married now, so sorry guys, I don't know what connotation that brings forward. I'm certainly not going to grace you with anything like that over the microphone. Asuna says, yes, I was bursting. I bet you were. I'm sorry you couldn't comment. You're here now, though. Allow the humour to explode from you. Anika says, that's poopy still. What is happening here, guys? We are slowly devolving into a into a humorous puddle of I don't know what I'm saying. Bursting made you think of that French saying. Oh God, guys. Right. I did see somewhere my mama says, James, will you share the deer picture? I absolutely will. 1 second. Bear with me, guys. My mother has asked me to share the deer picture, and I shall do just that. The great... Oops, wrong one. Need to go in the group. Give me just 2 seconds. Thank you so much for your patience. Here we go. Let me just come back over. Full camera. Bring this... Oopsie. Should be able to do it pretty quickly. And coming back here. Yeah, that's all good. Full monitor. So my mama here posted this in our Facebook group, The Great Global Garden. I will share that with you just momentarily. Unfortunately, the deer were culled in that area. Quite upsetting. You know, it's not a pleasant thing. My mother has written a little bit on it. I haven't liked it yet. Sorry, Mother. I've been very busy. I haven't commented either. But it was very upsetting. But my mum took a picture of this branch, and isn't it interesting? Because it really does look like a deer head. I think so. Do you think so? Can I zoom in? Oh, I won't zoom in on the picture, which is awful. But oh, where? No, I can. There you go. Does that not look like a deer head? Isn't that fascinating? So my mum just took that as sort of well, Mother, you can pop in the comments as well, share with people, but kind of like a little nod that, you know, the deer are, you know, they're okay. They're okay with what's going on. So we were on our usual walk most days around our local park estate, where for so long there have been so many beautiful deer roaming freely. It was so lovely and humbling to see them, but a few weeks ago there was a cull of them, and now you see all but a few, maybe 4 or 5. Yesterday we didn't see any at all, but this tree in the park remembers and honours them. I just want to share this in the photo that I took. I feel quite emotional about what's happening in our world right now, and there's moments like this that holds and comforts you for a while. Beautiful. I agree with you absolutely, Mother. So yeah. Annie says, me and James were married before we met. Why? What kind of heinous bossy things did I do to mean that we were married before we met? Poopy jokes as a bonding experience. We've definitely become a family, that's for sure. My father used to say when he farted, it's best it's better to let it out than bear the shame, than keep it in and bear the pain. I mean, absolutely. Wise words. Deborah, how lucky were you? I don't know what that's referring to. Oh, to do with the pupper. Looks like tears coming from an eye. Oh, it does, yeah. Okay. We're in 2 minds between a little bit of toilet humour and a little bit of spiritual development from the the deer coming to leave a spiritual message. Love my dad, but he had atrocious manners in public. Well, so does Lucas. So, you know, what are you going to do? He doesn't. He's very appropriate in public. It's just behind the scenes that it's you know, incredible. I can hear him laughing. Anyway, sorry, moving on. I won't embarrass him anymore. I'm just as bad. There you go. I'll be a brother and I'll let you know. Shapeshifter, welcome. You've come at the most odd time. Hope you don't mind a little bit of toilet humour, my friend. We've we've had deep philosophical conversations, but we've descended into the abysses of humanity's humour. Aston says, welcome to the lower level of the family. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for being here, Shapeshifter. We're keeping it light. We're keeping... Okay, Lucas. Stop it. Andromeda says, Deborah, lol, just like my dad, but he would wait until there was nobody around. Too close. Well, look, guys, we're blowing up YouTube now. We're going to have so many viewers coming from the chat rate that's expanding from our... Thank you, Teresa, for keeping the conversation on track. It's all good. Hi, Lenny. Oh, amazing. Yes, somebody did say that. Appreciate that. Beautiful. It's alright, guys. I don't mind it. It's funny. We've got to have a laugh in life, you know. As the beautiful Native Americans saying, the more serious you take the game, the less chance any of us have of winning. So that's it, you know. Mark says, I just love bovine scutology. I've never heard of that in my life. What do you mean? Is that a part of the humour that we're bringing forward, or is that something of philosophical, profound nature that we should be paying attention to? Oh, the ringing cedars of Russia. Thank you. Yeah, amazing. Why is that? Did you find it in a group? Because I haven't posted it in any of the groups, so that's really interesting that you found us through the book. Amazing. I know you wouldn't believe this, but we aren't usually like this. No, but that's fine. We gotta we gotta be as we are. So, right. So yes, that was my. And if you guys are interested, that's the Galactic Council of Lightworkers, also a good group, lovely people in there. Great Global Garden. This is our Facebook group. We now have 2.1 thousand members, which is amazing. We only had just under 2,000 before, so we've got lots of people coming across. So if you would like to come and be a part of this, there are some lovely people helping in here to drop some comments and messages. I certainly do need to be a little bit more proactive in here. I'm looking for some admins and people to help. That would certainly be amazing, but feel free to come and join us. It would be lovely to have you there. Anyway, let's keep on going then. So yes, the philosophical ideas. What time is it? 2:50 something was our fourth one, so we're all good. So the nature was, who do we choose to be? Now it's interesting. Have you heard the story about the twins? The story where you have a fancy way to say BS. Fair enough. I love bovine scatology. Bullshit. I've been demonetized now. Not that I'm actually monetized. I haven't put it on, so that's fine. Love it, Mark. Sorry, I've got that now. I'll have to. Of course, bovine cows. Silly of me. That's good though. I like that. I might have to steal that one. Asana, I'm loving the atmosphere here. Appreciate that. That's very lovely for you to say. Amazing. Well, you're welcomed with open arms. This is a lovely community we have here. We've been going. It's our 9th live stream. We go out live for 3 hours and 33 minutes, and honestly, we all spend pretty much the entire time together, which is amazing. So you are more than welcome. Very, very amazing to have you here. So, yeah, the idea of two twins being born. So the idea that two twins are born. I mean, this again is an impossible concept because, you know, even two individuals in the same environment, there are variables. They have the same mother and father. They're loved in the same way. One of them turns out to be a really kind, compassionate, good, upstanding person of the world. The other one turns out to be a little bit more aggressive, violent, less inclined to want to be loving and supportive of others. So the question is, if they grew up in the same environment and they're twins, they have very similar genetics, why is it that their personalities and their dispositions are so different? And as Lucas was saying when we were talking about this, it's that idea of the wolves within you. Lucas, is that a Viking or a Native American philosophy? It's a Native American philosophy, if I'm not mistaken. So the idea is that you have two wolves within you. A wolf of love, a wolf of hate, a love positive, a love negative. A wolf positive, a wolf negative, and whichever one you feed is the one that wins. So, just interesting. Native American, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Lucas's video, right? I said that I would show this, so I would like to. So we have something called the Light of Albion. And it's something that we were doing a lot of videos on. So, hold on. Can you hear that? No, you can't. So I'm going to go back. This is Lucas's video that he did. On the Light of Albion, we did quite a few videos. I'll show you in a while. But right on here. So let's just do this.
Himself.
Hold on.
Terrifying monsters
I'd like to
such
show
as
you this
giants,
video.
dragons, werewolves.
It's very, very interesting.
I was privileged last week to witness the spectacular dragon's horns of the recent solar eclipse while stood in the shadow of Urwidva, the very mountain named after the tomb of the fearsome giant Rita Gaur, slain, it is said, by Arthur himself. Terrifying monsters such as giants, dragons, werewolves, and enraged boars from the Mabinogion and other Arthurian tales and traditions are not always what they seem. While Hollywood and our media corporations weave their spells and saturate our screens and senses with tales of devils and division, in the Arthurian tradition, what may seem like our worst enemy and nightmare is often revealed as being the gatekeeper and guide to our highest virtues and our greatest strengths. Our wisest ancestors understood this. They understood that that which we have been taught to fear is where our power lies. They understood that the darkness is nothing more than our own shadow, that there are no sides of good and evil to choose from. All serve the same master. And so we encourage each one of you to exercise temperance before judgment, to use discernment before crying devil, and by doing so, immunize yourselves from the spells and deception of sorcerers. And hopefully, we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, so interesting. You know, that was one of the Lucas wanted to share that. That's, you know, very appropriate in this idea of our free will being affected by external stimulus. You know, when children are exposed to violence and aggression, when they're exposed to other more inappropriate material, when adults are exposed to more inappropriate material, you start to get desensitization, you start to behave in certain ways. So, you know, it's you know, it's a very important thing. It's a very beautiful video, so thank you, Lucas. So yeah, this is interesting, guys. This was the Light of Albion that we did quite a few videos a while ago. Some of them did quite well. This one got 88,000 views. And so we were talking about many philosophies with the Arthuriad, our disciplines of the Light of Albion, because we've got the Great Global Garden and we also have the Light of Albion. So don't forget about that, guys. It's very interesting. So, you know, this we did a load of videos and put them together. When was this? Let's have a look. Sorry.
In this video today,
This was, yeah, 2025. So I don't know whether that's the 3rd month or the 7th month, but so we've been at it for a while. This is some of the beautiful landscape that we're in. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Lucas. Very, very good. Let's just go over to the next slide. Katie, if you're still here, I'm very sorry I never read your comment. I was having a look. I have been told that there are some humans that do not have souls. I'm having trouble believing that one. It's a tricky one. You know, I've heard it too. So that, you know, NPCs, non-player characters, people who, you know, the problem with that, for me, is that then if I accept that to be true, then there are certain people in this world that I can give up on. Ooh. Gonna leave that with a bit of silence. Yeah? If it's true that souls on this planet, there are people on this planet that don't have a soul, then that means there are people on this planet I can give up on. Now again, we're talking about the most elaborate conversation of modern society and cultural philosophy, and that is that, you know, this idea of when do you stop making effort and just realize they have to go on their journey. You know, how much do you give? Have you learned the difference between learning through love and learning through pain? There are so many philosophical angles to this, but it's a difficult one, Katie, and I'm with you. That's one of the ones I try to steer away from. You know, is it true? Maybe. Do I know for a fact? How can I know? Again, it's a paradox. It's something that you can never really truly know, because I can only look through my eyes and feel my heart beating, feel my lungs. Because you could be sat there and be like, does James have a soul? You know, that's one thing you could say. You know, who's James? What's he about? Is he a cyborg that's been planted? You know these. It sounds ridiculous, but how do we know now with the stuff that's presented in the world? You know, it was only a while ago that certain files came out. Before we were all nut jobs, conspiracy nut jobs, the greatest psyop word in the entire world. You know, they've used that to make people look idiotic for asking questions. They've made people look idiotic for asking questions, rational, logical questions, possibilities, and they called it conspiracy. Intelligence. This is the intelligence of those people. Katie says, I've been told that we make a soul contract before incarnating here. Some contracts are to experience being bad. Yeah, and that's, you know, I can't argue with you. Deborah, that's very lovely of you. James has a wonderful, loving soul. That's very kind of you. You know, I strive. You know, that's the way I orientate myself and the way I try to, you know. But again, we have to understand that, you know, other people in the world have it very hard, you know. So never lose our humanity. I agree, Asana. Beautiful comment. So Katie, I'm with you. You know, I'm with you completely. Bradine says, I think the NPC thing is a test. No matter what, treat others with kindness, not judgment. I agree with you. A big test too. A big test. I immediately didn't feel comfortable with it. I'm like, that means that I'm Joshua. Free Persia, save Ukraine, visitor species infestation, plus coexisting interspecies silence, sapien, Psy waved, USAP denied. Not sure what you mean by that, my friend, but thank you for being here. Very kind of you to come and tune in and be a part of this conversation. Lovely to have you here. And Sue's Soul Coach Suzanne says, I so agree, 100% everyone. Beautiful. Hope I didn't miss any comments. Oh, Daphne says, I think we all have souls, yet as said before, we all have free will. Combining that with your environment, your lessons, that's the part where you could say your soul starts to die. Interesting. I mean, then the idea comes in the infinite nature of the light, the fractal idea, the amplituhedron. So yeah. Andromeda, nice to meet you here. I can't believe I found the fan of Dimash Kudaibergen. Anastasia and Dimash have something in common, I've noticed. Incredible. Am I missing out on something here? I want to know about this. That's amazing. Excuse me. I hope you didn't hear that. You did. This microphone's incredible. I'm very sorry. I've drank a lot of water and had some apples. That was... Sorry. Maybe MP... It's very hot in here. So maybe I need a worse microphone so that... Anyway. Andromeda says, maybe NPCs are simply people who are very much asleep, immature, at level 1, as per Dr. Michael Newton, souls. Or, as per Tom Campbell, simply not evolved enough with a lower level of consciousness. Yeah, I mean, you know, that we're getting to a very interesting idea here. Absolutely shapeshifter. Oh, I missed a comment. Katie says, absolutely, that's their life path, and that's okay too. Yeah. Okay. Right, guys, so we're getting close now. Oof, last 40 minutes of our live. Isn't that amazing? So the nature of wholeness, I kind of need to get through this. We haven't got to the next bit of content. Do you believe that we can live in a world where free will allows another to be capable of harming another? Up until this point, humanity has had the ability to choose light or dark behaviours. Our minds have been private and our thoughts hidden from one another. She didn't pass cast. That's true. Through this process, we have found cyclical historical accounts of the same things happening time and time again. If we are to entertain the idea of evolution or spiritual movement forward as a group of people, does the heinous crimes we hear about have a place in the world? I am not so sure. We have heard about the split earth theory or ascending into other dimensions of experience, but what does that then mean? You are born through an event. Oh, this is what I wanted to share in a nice way. You are born through an event directly connected to great mystery. A miraculous experience of creation and growth through the elements of our world which are truly awe-inspiring and miraculous. Your body is an autonomous miracle which works tirelessly day by day to give you life. Your heart, your cardiovascular system, pumps blood around your body 24/7 without stopping. Your lungs, respiratory system breathes the breath of life into your lungs without failing, without which only 3 to 6 minutes would be needed for a person to lose consciousness. Good night, brother. Sorry, I missed that. Did you say good night? Oops, I can't see. Yeah, good night, bro. Thanks so much for being a part. He's got to go up early, so Lucas has got an early start. So thanks so much for being here, brother. Appreciate you. Your digestive system also works constantly to keep nutrients moving throughout your body. Your glandular system is working to regulate your temperature and internal systems like sweating, salivation, lacrimation or tear production. Your kidneys work constantly to filter and clean your blood. Your ocular system work in shifting light to make you see properly. Hormones and endocrine regulation is automatic within your body. Brainstem reflexes, immune and repair functions, cellular, metabolic is all running, always, and so much more. Your body is a system which works perfectly to keep your experience going. There is one question though. When we say the word "your," what are we referring to? When we say the word "your," what are we referring to? Which brings us to, who am I? What am I? Why am I? I am. So this is what we were going to get through last week. So religions and cultures which refer to the I am. So we've got the Egyptian I am. Ra, so this was Yakish, if you're still here, my friend. Our bodies are awesome, Anika. You're absolutely right. So apologies, guys. I'm moving slightly away from the comments because I kind of want to get through. I haven't got to the new slides yet, although we have, but the ones for next ones. Love the natural facts of being a natural person, James. Absolutely. Thank you, Annie. The solar disk, Ra, the supreme sun god, embodied the eternal self-existent divine. I am that which created itself. The solar disk, which with the Uraeus serpent was his symbol of absolute self-sustaining divine power. So it's interesting because I don't know if any of you guys have come across the wisdom books by Harry something. I have gone through them, I can't remember them, but he does break down quite a lot of interesting symbolism. Some people try to say I like the books though, so it is what it is. But it's interesting here because you have the Eye of Horus, which nicely laps over the thalamus and the pituitary gland and the pineal gland within the brain, and it also looks sort of like a bird, which we're going to get to in a minute. And the solar disk is interesting because it sort of denounces the sovereignty and the with the serpent around it. The Hinduism I am. The sacred syllable Aum represents Brahman, the ultimate self-existent reality. The concept of Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, is one of the 4 great sayings of the Upanishads, expressing the unity of individual self with the universal divine I am. Side snippet here. So this is very interesting. I have something I've wanted to tell you guys this for about 8 weeks now. It's crazy. So I woke up one morning and I've never heard anybody describe it. It's crazy. Phosphenes. I can't even pronounce that. Phosphenes and after images. The retina continues to produce spontaneous electrical activity and chemicals even in the dark, which can cause you to see flashing lights, static or geometric patterns. Have any of you experienced this from waking up? Please tell me. Have any of you experienced geometric colours or DMT type swirling? So dimethyltryptamine is the chemical produced in the brain, which helps with sleep and dreaming. Have you ever experienced it where you've woken up and you've had images behind your eyes? I would love to know. I would really, really love to know. Suzanne, bye to everyone. James, Annie, bless you. Lol. Taking my cat to the vet for checkup. Many blessings. I wish your cat all of the peace on the way to the vet. I hope it's okay. I hope you have excuse me. I hope it's all right. Shapeshifter said it's not pronounced phosphenes. It's phosphate. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. That's really good. Daphne says constantly. Anika says yes, I have many times. Deborah says yep, I have many times. Asana says yes, I experience this. That's amazing. So I don't get it daily, but I do get it from time to time. This image here was behind my eyes. This image here was behind my eyes. The Sri Yantra. Don't tell me why. I can't tell you why. I can't explain it. I can't say I had a tremendous amount of knowledge. Phosphenes. Thank you, Deborah. Phosphenes. Look, guys, you guys help me out, all right? And Shapeshifter, yeah, I know. That was very good. I appreciate that. That reminds me of Hermione out of Harry Potter. It's not Wingardium Leviosa. It's Wingardium Leviosa. It's like, I've always thought when I was a kid, like, that's the same. Pronounced the same way. Interesting. But yeah, so I had this behind my eyes. Don't know why. I woke up and the phosphene after image was behind my eyes, and it lasted. And it was there for ages. And I've had it with other things as well. I've written them all down. But I do wake up from time to time with that, and I never used to in my life until the past couple of years, which is interesting. So seeing images behind your eyes when waking up is usually a normal phenomenon called hypnopompic imagery or hypnopompic hallucinations. Phosphenes and after images. The retina continues to produce spontaneous electrical activity and chemicals. It typically happens because your brain is still transitioning out of REM sleep and the sleep-wake cycle, causing lingering dream images, geometric patterns, or mind's eye flashes to briefly overlap your waking consciousness. So I put up here that it's a side snippet because it's the Sri Yantra is connected to Hinduism, if I'm not mistaken. So I just found it very interesting. Really, really, really interesting. We're late for our last meditation. But I want to go through these, but okay. So yeah, this is kind of, I sort of edited this a little bit. So that's sort of what I get, but it isn't. It's sort of like this, but it's not. It's a bit more complex and a bit softer. This is a bit harsh with the blocky, the blocks to it, but it sort of looks like a rainbow colour like that. Right, guys. Well, I know that we are. I know that we're here, but I want to kind of go into this in a bit more depth. So I did say to you this is probably going to be a part 3 as well. So let's just come to our meditation. Bring it here. Because I think the meditation effect is very powerful. You know, we've got weeks and weeks to go through this information, but the meditation effect, you know, I feel like that's doing a lot for the world right here and now. So global peace meditation for happy and healthy relationships. If you guys are okay, I agree with you, Suzanne, as well. I spent years training in areas of healing cats and dogs. I love that. Please share more. That's absolutely amazing. I really love that. Daphne says, when I awake, I also see the static like dancing colours, swirls of green and red, blue sometimes. I do. It's weird but cool, and now I don't do drugs. No, I know, but this is it. You know, so that's it. So yes, drugs, certain substances can induce that, but it's also produced naturally in the brain. So, you know, fascinating. Human body is fascinating. Tammy says, oh my, I see all of this in my waking state. Incredible. You must be producing DMT as you're awake. That's amazing. Love hearing that. So, right, we're going to get ready. Okay. So, yeah, Asana says it's the DMT releasing from the pineal gland. Alright guys, take a nice deep breath in. Absolutely. Google Koshi, Koshi. There are 4 types. Earth, air, fire and water. That's the fire one. That's the fire one. Okay, let's take the pace all of the way down. Let's take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just relax. All the while, we are making sure that we recognize the power of the meditation effect. Sorry. And I'd just like you to take one more nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax. May you find peace and relaxation in every area of your body right now. May you find peace and relaxation in your life, in your relationships, and in all of the moments that you wish to feel that peace and relaxation. Today's conversation has been about understanding human nature, and so as we go through our relationships, may you find the harmony and balance that allows you to connect with those beautiful people in your life. And may we then take that understanding, that compassion, that balance, that harmony, those boundaries, those understandings, may we take that into all of our villages within the great global garden. May we become the best version of ourselves, embodying the highest qualities of love, presence, fortitude, temperance, authenticity, kindness, humility. And may we then embody those qualities and be a beacon and an example for others to do the same. The Great Global Garden is born through our hearts and our minds. Our ability to walk through this earth, this experience, this journey, seeking to be the best that we can be, whilst honouring the journey of life, the lights, the shadows, and navigating this red road, as the Native Americans would say, navigating this red road the best that we can. You are doing the best that you can, and you are loved for it. You are appreciated for it. You are loved and appreciated here. You are loved and appreciated by me. And you are loved and appreciated by all those who watch over you from the other world. May all people on earth start to focus their loving intentions a bit more, harmonise those loving intentions a bit more. May people move more and more away from aggression and closer to love. We can still be ourselves, our characters, our personalities, just peaceful, stoic, present, able to have great levels of fortitude, which is the ability to endure things for a long period of time, great levels of temperance, which is the ability to have restraint, to not have too much of a thing if it is not beneficial. So may it be so. May our great global garden villages be born in the hearts of all people. May all events and paths open up to make this possible for all of us. We're certainly doing our effort in these lives together. So I'm going to leave you now to take a few moments for yourself, for your own prayer, your own meditation, your own thoughts. Namaste, Danacho Wio, and Amen. Okay guys, when you're ready, please feel free to come back into the room. Asana, I'm also just reflecting on what you said about the overuse of the word namaste. Could you shed some light on if you feel that it might be more appropriate for us to elaborate on the word perhaps? I'd be very much grateful if you could. Please share one thing that you're grateful for, one thing that may have came to you during that meditation. And what are we on now? Well, 3 hours and 11 minutes, so we're probably pretty close to our next meditation with David. You know, we're about 10 minutes away. 10 minutes takes us to 20, yeah, 5 minutes. So yeah, appreciate you all very much. Soul Coach Suzanne says, I love that we're taking time for a healing meditation for relationships. So important. I agree with you. It came to me just before the live, so yeah. Shapeshifter says, hey, I am Hindu and never saw that. These gods... well, Shapeshifter, I might be wrong. Shapeshifter says, that was peaceful, but you say Om Shanti. and not namaste, usually after meditation. Okay, I appreciate that very much, Shapeshifter. At Kriya Yoga School, we say namaste and namaskar all the time. I didn't know you could overuse it. Look, so Andromeda, let me just say here that, everything in life is based upon intention. So forgive me, I am not speaking from experience. As far as I'm concerned, in anything in life, if you're doing it with a loving intention, if you're doing it with genuine thought behind it, sometimes, okay. So Asana says, Namaste is a deep reverence for a fellow traveller that is a reflection of ourselves. Okay, so that's a very beautiful thing to say, and that that expands upon the nature of us using that word. So I do appreciate you sharing that. Asana, you might have a different opinion of this, and I appreciate that massively. I don't blame you at all. I sometimes, I've just been of the nature that, let's just say I was sharing things with people, I would want them to feel free in themselves to be able to embody it in the way they want to, with the intention that feels right for them. So, Asana says, the Buddhists take it as a deep loving-kindness extension of who we are. Beautiful. Well, hopefully. Andromeda says, yes, James, I'm not... I know you're not. I'm just saying we use it often. No, of course, Andromeda. It may have been you... Oh, I didn't know you could overuse it. I got you. No, of course, I know. I know that massively. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, it's just one of those things. So I don't know. It's I guess it's up to the individual, isn't it? That's life. That's being a human being. It's completely up to you as to how you feel about it, I suppose. I'm not an expert. So. But no, love you, Andromeda. I know you meant everything in good heart. Alright guys, we're getting very close now. We're 3 hours 14 minutes into tonight's live. Isn't that amazing? Time just flies. Ciao you guys, I love it. So what we'll do is we'll go straight into David's live now, his meditation, if you guys are okay with that. Chrysia says, it's never too much to say. The light in me greets the light in you. A person can say it in English. It's just an understanding that we are all created from the same light. Beautiful. I agree. Fair enough. Hap Chappy says, Namaste symbolically means I honour the divine light in you, which is also within myself. You are bowing to that divine light honouring. I mean, wow, what could be wrong with that, eh? Love it. That's beautiful. Free Queen says, I always read Namaste as the God in me sees and greets the God in you. There you go. Bradine, a reminder, James is on Telegram and we can chat over there during the week aside from Facebook. We can indeed. Bradine has been very lovely to be over there with a few other individuals. I apologise. You'll have to forgive me. It's really terrible, isn't it? I'm doing my best. But there are we've got a few people over there, so please do feel free to come over. It is a lovely place, and Bradine is in there, and who wouldn't want to be in there if Bradine was in there? So, yeah, that's funny, Free Queen, you did. Alright, guys. I know we've only just done a meditation. If it's okay, we're going to go straight into David's, and I'd like to, just relax our way through to the end of tonight's live video. We've got about 18 minutes left, so if that's okay with you, let's spend a bit of time once again with David. So, what was it was 2 hours 58 and 12, 2:58 and 12, 2:58 and 12, 2:58. So it's 8 minutes, 6 minutes. Okay, right then, we'll come over here.
Can go right into our global peace meditation, and I'll meditate on the fact that I don't ever want to have to do that again. Not tweaking my makeup on a live camera feed. That was so funny. All we got was audio, no video. Anyway, you guys are still asking lots and lots and lots of questions, but let's go into our meditation because that'll make it so we can end just about at the 3-hour mark. Okay, here we go. So let's close your eyes now. Put both feet, actually I'm going to go back to this one first. Close your eyes. Put both feet flat on the floor. Take a nice deep breath and just let it go. Take another nice deep breath now. Today we are working on this principle of Namaste, brotherly love. The divine in me sees the divine in you. We're living in that reality. We're living in that truth. Feeling waves of relaxation as we breathe in healing energy. Going into a nice place of stillness now, nice place of silence, where it just feels so good to go deep and deep and deeper within, finding all of the glory of the light within, the creator that is within us, the resonance of this all-important source field energy. Allowing yourself to breathe, to have movement, to have warmth and radiance and grace. Feeling the glory that comes in the moment of stillness, that comes to you without effort, without concern, but just is always there waiting for you to pick up that ball once again and run with it. So much love, so much happiness is available to us when we just tune in to the attitude of gratitude, to the Namaste principle. Feeling that all in the universe is sacred, learning to accept, understand, and forgive, and be at peace with things as they are now, and find ways in which we can apply brakes to the wheel of karma. That any situation in life can be changed, it can be transformed, it can be renewed. And it's not even that difficult. It just requires our own participation in our own healing process. And that is love. Learning to love ourselves is learning to love others. The two are so fundamentally interconnected. And as we find this place of unity, this place of stillness, we look for the resonating influence of love upon us. And we see just how far we've come in understanding what really matters in life. How we can take the situations that have defined our reality and transform them into something so much better than what we ever could have imagined. Finding a renewal, a place of peace. Hearing the voice of the true self as an authentic voice that resides within our heart and soul. Finding all of those different ways in which we can be so calmly, smoothly transformed so that there is no disharmony, no dis-ease. We form a shield of protection around ourselves. And we know that we are living in that truth. No harm can come our way when we walk in the light of the one infinite creator. That we bask in the glory of the source, in the knowingness that all is forgiven and that all can be rectified. There are ultimately no mistakes. All is whole and pure, and we accept and understand the design of the universe and the way that it was built for us, and how we can attract more and more love and light and happiness into our lives. We have these truths as self-evident. We know that we are all created equally in the eyes of the Creator, and that there is no lack. There is no reason to ever feel that we have been left behind or shunned or kicked to the curb. But we can rise up in our own confidence, rise up in our own awareness, rise up in the strength that always is within us, that can be tapped as an everlasting oasis of truth and light and love. And then learn to live in that place. Learn to live in the glory of that which already has been and which still is. For in the grander sense, we understand and remember that we are the light, we are the love, we are the one infinite creator. And this is as it was, as it is now, and as it always shall be. We see it in the amplituhedron, the Merkaba, in the Aum, the primordial sound, and we intone and affirm that this is our reality today, sending that loving energy and light to all those in need of prayer and healing in all those war zones, sending it to our dear friend Arthur and all others who are so in need of prayer and healing at this time. And so it is. Amen. All right. You want to see? Let's just try a little more of this, Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe that happened. Anyway, that was a great meditation. Thank you guys for being here. LU says, I'm sending photons of light to all of you. I see beautiful geometry around you. Namaste, everyone. Awesome donations, too, for David. He deserves it. Suzanne Ariel Luna says that. Stephen Thompson, namaste. Thanks for the reminder that we are the light. Thank you so much, David. Namaste to you, says Joe Cola Medici. Thank
One thing that I did find that was lovely there is, Gail, if you're still here, your comment was there, and Soul Coach Suzanne, your comment was there too, and he actually shouted out your comment, which was really lovely. So this was the one from 8 months ago. So when you guys are ready, please feel free to come back. We are at 3 hours and 23 minutes. We have 10 minutes left before we are saying goodbye for one more week until next week on Sunday. But Shapeshifter, I know how you feel. You see, life throws paradoxes at us. It throws equations, and it throws situations that we can never really know. There's a guy or a lady who put out a video where it showed about 50 minutes. I know that Yelena sent it to me, and I'd watched it before. It was about 50 minutes where David was saying he would never unalive himself, he would never commit he would never end himself. People then say that it was technology, weaponized technology. People say, there's a part of me that thinks that this situation, the reason why we're here doing these lives, the reason why David isn't here, is because this is one of those things in our world that has happened that blows the door open. This is why I'm 3 weeks I was preparing before. I've been doing this all my life pretty much, but there was just something about it. There was something about it that didn't feel right. The way he said, if I have any accidents, the nature of it, the nature of the news, the nature of the thing that came forward. So it just seemed odd, and that's why a lot of us went down the path that, like Suzanne said, he was extracted, he's been moved, he's been taken out of the limelight, because he put his time and effort in, and then he's all of a sudden not there, miraculously. The tapes that were odd, the audio of the Boulder police was weird. It was all just weird. I woke up in the morning, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. It disturbed me. It disturbed me when I read it. I immediately rejected it. It made no sense. Excuse me, I could swear now because of the passion coming up. It made no sense to me. So I don't believe he did. I don't. I know that there have been mediums who have said, but there's this. Okay, some mediums people will class as they're absolutely bona fide. They've nailed it. They've got it. They've sorted it. It's all good. But that's the nature of our world. You'll never know. This is why I try to move away from absolutes. If I don't know for certain, then I try to move away from it, or I try to give a disclaimer. So I don't think that he did. I think he's elsewhere. I think that he's done what he needed to do, and he was under a huge amount of pressure. It was difficult for him financially and stuff like that, and they moved him out. Simple as that. That's what I think. Do I know? No. I'm just a guy in Wales. I don't know. Did I know him? Did I speak to him? No. I never met David. I never met him face to face. But we go on what we feel. So I could be complete lying. I could just not have a clue. And it's exactly what happened. And he did do it. To me, if I said, and this is my declaration to all of you, if I have said, and I mean this, I will never do that to myself ever. Okay? I will never do this to myself ever. I will never kill myself. I will never commit suicide. It's not in my nature. It's either I will go down fighting, I will go down gasping for air, I will go down being tortured in a secret room, whatever. You ain't taking me out, right? I'm not doing it myself. That's what he said. So universe, if that's your path for me, fair enough. I doubt it. What's the point in me being here if you're going to have that happen to me? If there's ever a story that I did that to myself, it's BS. what did you say? Bovine, scay, whatever. You know it's bullshit. All right, and that's what I'm going to say now. You know it's BS. And if life is ever that bad for me, and I'm going through the worst, most crippling hell on earth, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So you know clearly, you know for sure what's going on. I have no problem telling you. You know, so like I say, I respect how everybody feels. This is delicate. It's a sensitive topic. It's a sensitive understanding. We all know how we feel. All I know is that whether he's here or not, we will continue doing the good, loving peace, global peace meditations he did. I will never stop walking this pathway to peace, and that was his last life. His last life was called the Pathway to Peace, and I will never stop until we've accomplished it. So David, brother, love you. You know, if he did, love you. If he didn't, love you. If he's somewhere else, if you're listening to this, David, and you're actually still here and you're in a secret place, love you, bro. Did an amazing job. Thank you so much for everything you did. Look at the love that you've got. The people who love you. You know, you're loved. Here nor there, you're loved. So that's it. I hope I don't overstep the mark. You know, you guys can't have your say because you're listening to me talk through this video. I'm very aware of that. You know, I'm waffling on here and I'm giving my take, but I want to respect you guys as well. You guys will have an opinion. You guys will have how you feel about it. And this doesn't give you an opportunity to voice that. So I want to apologize for that and just let you know that I love you dearly. And I hope that, you know, I hope you're okay with that. You know, So Shapeshifter, Stephen Greer said the government has technology that can influence your brainwaves. I mean, you know, well, I guess you'll know whether they're doing it. It doesn't feel right. I am not denying that. I'm not denying that. It just doesn't feel right. That is the absolute highest level of free will violation. Because I'm sat here, we're talking about restoring the Great Global Garden. That is the anti-equation to everything they're doing. That's when we know it's nearly. Sorry, guys. That's my thing to go to bed normally. You know, we're talking about the Great Global Garden. That will stop everything they're doing. Everything. The globalist agenda, everything they're doing. The Great Global Garden will unite the people and stop it. If they start using that stuff on me, then I guess you'll start to know. My mind is clear. My thoughts are clear. I am uninterfered with. I am present. I am here. I'm not, you know, thinking dark thoughts. I'm here. It's a task. It's hard work. It's hard work. Every minute of the day, almost, I'm devoted to the strategy of this, the thinking, the posting, the editing, the uploading, downloading, recording, all of it. I'm devoted to it. You know, but right now I'm clear. My mind is clean. My mind is on it. My mind is processed. I'm not interfered with. If that ever happens, that ever changes, I'll let you know. But right now it ain't happening. So I don't know what to tell you. You know, I like to think. It's so funny because I wish we could talk about this longer. Maybe we go over 3 hours 33 as a tribute to David. Maybe we go over and we talk with each other about it. I don't mind going over a little bit. You know, but like I say, guys, I respect what everybody says. I don't know. Maybe they do have that technology. I've heard it. That woman said it. You know, they've got that crowd dispersing technology that they used, and apparently it worked. You know, if they can do this. You know, this is nonsense. If they can do this, then the benevolent forces of light, where are you? What are you doing? You know, if they can do this to people and violate a person's free will, I do not accept that. That ain't happening to me. I'm not here on this planet to be interfered with by people of that nature. People who have got dark, horrible, nasty intent. I am not here to be interfered with. So, Asana, I agree with you. I've seen some of them. But like I say, you know, that means they have the ability to interfere with me. I don't agree with that. I'm not saying I don't agree with the possibility. I'm saying I don't agree with them having that ability. To me, I'm still not done that properly. Sorry, Asana, I agree with you completely. What I mean is I don't agree that they have that ability to affect me, you know? Because I say no. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. Tree Dog, thank you so much for the $2 donation, my friend. That's really kind of you. Right near the end of the stream, that's really kind of you to support me. Thank you so much, my friend. Generous. I appreciate you dearly, brother. Very kind of you. Means a lot to me. So yeah, that's, you know, like I say, guys, I am very aware this is a very sensitive topic, and I haven't read the comments yet, and we're supposed to be finishing in 30 seconds, so what do we do? Hey, I don't want your feelings and your ideas of this to be lost because we're supposed to be coming off the live now. Neil says, unfortunately, it's well documented and evidenced, and they are. So the Blade Runners in the United Kingdom are taking down a lot of the stuff they're doing because they say it. Then we need to have a conversation with the light. The light has got to kick in then. We're doing our best on our end. We're doing our best with videos. We're doing our best with thinking about the solution for the Earth. But we need a bit of help. They got to come in and they got to start to, give us what we need. Money, people, resources. They've got resources because they've been willing to do things that I would never dream of. Hurt, violate, manipulate, lie to. I could never do those to people. So, I couldn't do that to people. Yet they've done that to gain power, to take the land, to murder the rebellion. So we're in an interesting situation. I don't want to end on quite a dark note. We've gone over a little bit, but I don't mind. This is an important thing to talk about. So just know that I love you all very much. I'm not going to rush off. Maybe another couple of minutes, 5 or so minutes. Tammy333 here. Love you very much too. Suzanne, Soul Coach Suzanne says, what's the Telegram channel? It is, let me just get it up for you here. One second. Yeah, we're going to go over, this is one of the first lives that we're going to go over a little bit, but that's okay. That's part of the nature of things. So this is the Telegram channel, just here. Oopsie, full monitor. There we go. So just here. So James Malins, Global Peace Meditations. You can type that in, it'll bring up. The link is in the description. So guys, if you want to join the Telegram group, it's in the description of this video. Just scroll down, you'll see the description, it will say see more, and you should be able to have the link for the Telegram channel. So that is in there. Free Queen, no matter how we look at it, Scripture says to pray for our government. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, that was David's thing with forgiveness, so I'm with you. Glade says, do you believe what Anastasia says about her taking it upon herself to absorb as much dark energy as she could in order to help us cross the dark forces window of time? Yeah. That's for next week. Yeah, that's for next week. It's an interesting one because the grass around her goes white because she's fighting off the rays of the priests who are then focusing to try to match her speed of thought, and she then outspeeds them with her speed of thought, gets closer to God because she's moving. So I hear you. I hear you. I need to go back, Glade, and I need to go back and have a look there. Lenny, I need to go back there. Lenny, is it Lenny? Sorry, Lenny. Glade, you'll have to let me know. Blah. I learned that I was working with the real criminals and they use national security to get you to harm yourself so that they don't have to deal with the truth of their own bad actors. Well, yeah, it messes with free will. Well, that's interesting because we've been talking about free will today, haven't we? All right, guys. Well, look, yeah, we'll call the live there. This is probably, it's a shame that it's right near the end. Probably this is a big conversation. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, look, I appreciate. What did the Dark Forces think getting rid of David Wilcock? We're coming back together stronger than ever because here we are with you now, James. Thank you for another wonderful show. That's very lovely of you, Joravi. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's the whole idea of, the connotation of what's good and what's bad in the grand scheme of things. What's good and what's bad, and we can never really know. We can never really know. So, anyway, that's Asana. It's my absolute pleasure. Just know that I love you all very dearly, very, very dearly. I appreciate how you feel. I appreciate what you share. We could do a long conversation. It's a big one. We haven't really gone into this. It's a big one. So just know that my passion when I say that about them violating free will is it's unacceptable. And if they can do that and they are doing that, then it needs to stop. And we will certainly be on that path for it to stop. So Hap Chappie, it's my pleasure. Tree Dog, Tammy, Asana, Free Queen, Deborah, Suzanne, Joanna V, Bradine, Sue Skidmore, Blah, Amber, Neil, Mummy Malins, Daphne and Deborah, Tammy, I think I said Tammy, Glade, everybody. I just want you to know I love you all very dearly. I hope you don't mind them. We'll call it there. This is a big conversation. I love you. I appreciate your beliefs, and I understand. A lot of it will be true. What you're saying is true. What you're saying is absolutely spot on and accurate. Fair enough. If that's the case, then it needs to stop. End of story. No being on this planet can and should have that level of manipulation over another. It's a complete violation. And I'll tell you that if I ever end up feeling things with me, I'll let you know. But right now, I'm clean, I'm clear, I'm strong. We're working hard, so I'm, having a good old nap helps. But I'm strong, I'm cognitive, I'm here, I'm ready to go. My willpower is strong. I ain't got no dark thoughts, no bad thoughts. I'm certainly here for the long run. Appreciate you all very much. And that's all I can say. So look, we're going to be live again next Sunday. We'll probably do a part 3, although just let me have a think and maybe we can expand. I also do want to go through the pages, so I'm hoping this week we start to get the pages into a place where they're shareable, so that would be amazing. So just know that I appreciate you all dearly, all the lovely donations, all the lovely payments of time, your time and your energy, your presence, your kindness, your compassion. You've been absolutely wonderful as always, guys. I'll try and do a couple of YouTube videos this week, maybe, if I get the time. And just know that I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful week. Excuse me. I'll be posting. I'll be, I'll be posting comments and replying to messages as much as I can. So you all take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you next week. Bye bye, my friends. Love you dearly.